They are veterans who expect to carry their teams to greatness. Self-proclaimed men of steel. But in finals game 1, only one of these supermen flexed his muscles. Reggie Miller waited a career for Wednesday night, but forces more powerful than a locomotive sabotaged his indoctrination to the NBA championship. 1 for 16 shooting, 7 points, his worst playoff performance ever. And as Miller goes, so go the Pacers. The same is true for Shaquille O'Neal, the Lakers' impact player personified. He was able to leap opposing centers in a single bound and scored 43 as LA won easily. So Miller's Pacers have been knocked down, but repeatedly at critical junctures this postseason, Miller has carried his team back. Can he do it against Hollywood's Man of Steel? Game 2 is next.
This is the NBA on NBC. The 2000 NBA Finals. Tonight, Game 2, the Indiana Pacers versus the Los Angeles Lakers.
You may recall that on their way to the Staples Center Wednesday night for Game 1, Reggie Miller and the Pacers got stuck in traffic and arrived barely an hour before game time. Apparently in their haste, they left Miller's jump shot behind. Tonight, taking no chances, they arranged for a police escort. Most NBA teams get to the arena about 90 minutes before tip-off. This time they got here a half hour earlier than that, a full 2 hours before the scheduled game time. Meanwhile, Shaquille O'Neal knows all the shortcuts and back roads around L.A. He owns the town, just as he owned the Pacers with 43 points in Game 1. Hi again, everybody, with Doug Collins. I'm Bob Costas. Now, all teams, as they prepare to take on the Lakers and Shaquille O'Neal, have to do something in practice to simulate the big guy. And so, in the case of Indiana, they designate poor Jean Tabak to play the role of Shaq, so that Rick Smits and to a lesser extent Sam Perkins can practice against him. But as assistant coach Rick Carlisle told us, being very candid, it isn't really much of a simulation.
Bob, it's impossible to simulate playing against Shaquille O'Neal. You think as a coach you're ready going into Game 1, and you find out when you face the real Shaq, you're not. First of all, you face his speed. Look how quickly he gets into the lane, only 5 seconds off the shot clock. He gets into the lane for the early score. You think you're going to double team him, triple team him. He punishes you and goes right through it and scores easily with the jump hook. Now you say we're going to double team him. He takes his time and he finds his cutter going to the basket for the easy layup. Well, then the next time you say we're not going to double team him, we're going to single cover him, he overpowers you and he lays the ball in the basket. And this has been the story in Game 1 of every series. Shaq has been dominant in Game 1 against Sacramento. They did a nice job. They adjusted, only 23 in Game 2. Phoenix had no answers. It cost them. We saw what the Blazers did. Terrific defense in Game 2. The Pacers give up 43. The big question tonight, Bob, can they slow Shaq enough to be able to win this game?
And one more big question. Will Reggie Miller rediscover his jump shot? Remember, this is one of the great playoff performers in NBA history, who turned in one of the worst shooting performances for a single game in the history of the playoffs. But as far as he's concerned, it isn't likely to happen again.
I couldn't get terribly down on myself because I got looks. Now, if it was just overwhelming defense and my looks were bad, then I'd probably been a little bit more upset with myself. But if they're going to play me like that, to me, it's only a matter of time I'm going to cut them. And if they can continue to play me like that and I get those kind of looks, it's only a matter of time.
And Reggie's right. He got great shots to start the game, shots that he loves, coming off screens. He was wide open to start the game. And you see, tough luck on the jump shot. It rattles in and out. Once again, they run that same play. It's Reggie's favorite play. Again, the tough luck. Who knows if these shots would have gone? He might have been hot. Then the Lakers said, you know what? We're going to funnel him to his left hand, push him to the shot blocker, and there is Shaquille O'Neal waiting to block his shot. Now, we know Reggie Miller is going to bounce back. He's done it the entire playoffs against Milwaukee, a subpar Game 4, a huge Game 5. Against Philadelphia, the suspension, he comes back with a big Game 6. And against New York, his favorite game, 34 points in the clincher. But this is not all about Reggie Miller. He needs help. And Jalen Rose is a second leading scorer on this team. Only 12 points in Game 1. I think these guys need to get 40-plus points tonight. And more importantly, Bob, they have got to win the first quarter. They have to believe they can beat the Lakers.
Reggie Miller says he needs an edge, something to provoke him, something to get him angry. If 1 for 16 doesn't do the trick, maybe he should send Spike Lee a plane ticket and buy him a courtside seat. Something's got to get Reggie going. We're headed out of here for a moment. When we come back, Hannah Storm and the Showtime crew take over. Then we'll return with the call of Game 2.
Continue at the Staples Center. In Game 1, Indiana's Reggie Miller scored 17 points below his playoff average as the Pacers lost by 17. Hi, everybody. Hannah Storm along with Isaiah Thomas, our dynamic duo, Steve Snapper Jones and Bill Walton. Guys, behave tonight, all right? All right, you have been in Reggie Miller's shoes. While back, Eastern Conference Finals against the Bulls, 3 for 18 in Game 1.
Yeah, the most important thing, though, is Reggie must come back. After that Game 1, I came back and got up 27 shots, scored 33 points. I had good looks in Game 1, just as Reggie had good looks in Game 1. You'll see here, Reggie coming off the screen, wide open, no one within 2 to 3 feet away from him. You'll see him coming off another screen. It wasn't the Lakers' defense, it was Reggie Miller shooting. Now, what Reggie must do now is take his time and knock those shots down. We know Reggie's an excellent shooter, and if he get those same looks tonight, he's gonna make those shots.
Hey, Zeke, did you go to church? Did you pray? Did you say, can somebody help me with those shots?
No, I went in the gym the night before and shot.
Well, I know you had an attitude, and it takes a player with an attitude to help get a team a victory out on the road. And the player that has one for the Indiana Pacers is Jalen Rose. Rose is a guy that likes the big moment, and he's not afraid of a challenge. Bring Shaq to me. Doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to score the ball. He passes, he rebounds. A very versatile player who loves to play away from home.
You guys are talking as if the Pacers are playing in a vacuum. They're playing against the Lakers, the best defensive team in basketball. The best, not the best, not one of the best, the best. And it all starts with the guards, with Ron Harper and Kobe Bryant out in front. The Indiana Pacers have no chance because they're giving up size, strength, athleticism, and discipline. And all the Laker guards have to do is guard from 15 feet and out because they are begging the Pacers, please, please drive to the basket, go back door, come on in here and meet my good friend Shaq here. How easy is their job?
Hey, Billy, they're giving up 2 more points a game than the Indiana Pacers. How can they be the best?
Numbers, give me players. I don't care about numbers.
All right, you guys, let's go down to the court and check in with Peter Vesey. Peter?
Okay, what the Lakers are talking about is what Phil Jackson put on the blackboard. Do not let up. They do not have a sigh of relief like you've had in the previous 2 series against the Blazers and the Suns, because this format is so important. 2 games here, 3 in Indianapolis. They do not want to go back to Indy at 1-1. Over in the Pacers locker room is, of course, we want less out of Shaq and more out of Reggie. But what they should be talking about, says Greg Anthony of the Blazers, is to pressure the backcourt of the Lakers. Pressure Harper and Kobe. They're terrible ball handlers. Take time off the clock, the shot clock. Get it to by the time they get it down to Shaq, there's only 6 to 8 seconds to go. Double him up, and then he does not have time to get it back again. And if all else fails, they're going to employ their carjack a Shaq strategy.
Sounds illegal. All right, for the first time in the 2000 playoffs, the Pacers are down a game in a series. Can they steal one here in LA before heading back home to Indiana? Well, we'll get you to the tip-off of Game 2 right after these messages.
As we take a look at the lineups for Game 2, one of the stories of this series might be guys like Miller and Jackson, Smits and Davis, and Mullen and McKee off the bench for Indiana. Graybeards getting their first and perhaps last chance at the finals against the likes of Kobe and Shaq, young stars who are appearing in the finals for the first time but may make many return visits. Let's check with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. I talked to Kobe Bryant before the game. He told me one of the main concerns was energy. In games 2 in the past, they have been overwhelmed by their opponent because they haven't been able to match the energy. They must do that tonight. The other concern was to stay with their offense. In game 1, he said at times the game became easy. That's when they strayed away from their offense, and that's when Indiana made a run. Their challenge tonight is to keep the discipline, stay with their offense. Now for more on the Indiana Pacers, let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Ahmad. Well, today it wasn't a late arriving bus for the Pacers, but it was an unwanted, very early wake-up call. At 6:45 this morning, the Pacers had a fire alarm. They were told to evacuate their hotel. The only guy who went down was Larry Bird. Said he'd already been up for 3 hours. I spoke to Bird. He said he had a conversation with Reggie Miller. He said to Reggie that he was 1 for 12 once in a playoff game, that being 1 for 16 was really no big deal. Anybody could do that. He said the true test of somebody who is truly great would be to take 30 shots. In other words, Reggie, keep shooting the ball. Bob?
Jim, thanks. So at 6:40 a.m., Bird had already been up for 3 hours. Has he got a paper route?
No, he's a coach. He's worrying for 12 different people.
That may have been a false alarm. Alarm over Shaq's performance is justified from Indiana's perspective. Even though Smits is 7'4", they have Davis at 6'11", jump against O'Neal, and the Lakers control it. Here's Glenn Rice. Off to Shaq. Jackson there with quick help. So it's Kobe Bryant. Glenn Rice into the lane, left hand, and got it. Already got only 1 for 8 in game 1. Lost in the shuffle because of Miller's 1 for 16 and because his team won. Here is Miller. How long will he wait? Not very. A very different result.
And you can feel the hush in the Staples Center here. They know what this guy's capable of. He can electrify his team with his shooting. That's what they need.
After less than a minute, he's equaled his field goal total from game 1. Kobe. It'll be Indiana ball, and a loose ball foul is called on Ron Harper.
See, I like what they did here. They brought him to the right side of the floor. He played strictly on the left side in game 1. They forced him to the baseline. Here, he has a chance to go to either side. He just pulls up and shoots it, brings it back again on this possession. Same play. This time he goes left, and he's going to get the foul. Bob, what they did in game 1, the Lakers, they pushed him to the left side of the floor. They funneled him to his left hand, so he was down on the baseline. You can already see here the early jump shot and getting to the middle of the floor, something he did not do in game 1. More importantly, he gets to the free throw line. Quick jumper, now 2 free throws.
After barely a minute, Harper has 2 fouls. Miller never went to the line until the second half in game 1. He scored 3 quick points here.
Now, if Reggie gets off to a great start, his team has to follow. Jalen Rose, Rick Smits, all these guys, they can't just watch him play. They need everybody playing at the same time. Indiana's had a tendency to be Reggie for a while, then Jalen, then Rick Smits. They need them all together.
A 91% free throw shooter. Miller hits them both. Here's Harper on the move with the left hand. Counted plus the foul. Mark Jackson picks up the personal.
Ron Harper had a great game 1. Now he came out of the block with 8 points in game 1 in the first period. Here he goes to the basket, and Mark Jackson has got to do a job against him. Now you cannot give Ron Harper 12 points. If you're going to keep Kobe at 14 and Glenn Rice at 3, you cannot give Harper 12 points, and that's what's going to be a focus tonight.
Can't complete the three-point play. Jalen Rose takes the rebound. Here's Smits. He can take that jump hook over Shaq. The difference is he missed the first 3 times he tried in game 1. He hits right off the bat here.
That's a great call, Bob. And you heard his post-game comments tonight. He said, I was nervous early. That was a very relaxed move across the lane.
Harper and Miller fouled him.
Well, Ron Harper's being very aggressive this time. The foul against Reggie Miller. So Harper looking to be much more offensive-minded than he was during the regular season.
Shaq up top to Bryant. Here's his three. And Dale Davis grabs the rebound. Smits catch and shoot. Overshot that one.
That's okay. He's got to get, anytime he's got an open shot, he's got to take it.
Miller's on Bryant. Glenn Rice driving on Jalen Rose. Rebound battle won by Indiana. Pacers lead it by 2. Jackson looks for help, finds Smits. It pops out for him. Dale Davis grabs the offensive rebound, showing aggressiveness. Miller for 3. Harper takes it ahead to O'Neal, who doesn't have a field goal attempt yet after almost 3 minutes. That changes. The rebound to AC Green, and the follow is good.
They're going to call that an offensive foul, Bob. They're going to say he wiped off with his left arm. But one of the things is if you're going to prevent Shaq with double teams from scoring, you've got to get on the boards. Jalen Rose has got to get this rebound. He allows AC Green in front. You see the wipe out with the left hand. But already we see much more aggressiveness in the Pacer defense than we did in game 1.
So the basket is negated. Still 6-4 Indiana. Miller against Harper to the baseline with the flip that's good.
Reggie's off to a great start. He's got a layup, he's got a jumper, he's got 2 free throws. Exactly what you want to do if you're a scorer.
O'Neal spins on Smits. And Rick fouled him.
The best in the league without the ball, maybe one of the best ever. Reggie Miller sets a little back screen on Shaq, pops out and gets the basketball, and he's going to square up Harper. We told you he's going to funnel him baseline to Shaq. This time, the little giant killer over the big man flips it in the basket, the little teardrop layup by Reggie Miller.
O'Neal to the line early in this game. With 31 field goal attempts, he took only 6 free throws and made just 1 in game 1. In their last regular season meeting, he had 28 shot attempts and only 3 free throws. That shows a lack of aggressiveness defensively by Indiana, which they'll have to correct in this game.
They know they cannot give him 31 field goal attempts. Bob, I think 22, 23 they can live with. 31, they can't do it even with 25.
Jalen Rose. And O'Neal pegs the rebound ahead for Glenn Rice, but it's beyond him, and Indiana takes it back.
Now, Jalen Rose has got to get himself in this game. We talked how important it is. It's a 1-2 punch of he and Reggie Miller. And he has a tendency when Reggie gets it going to stand around and watch. They need to get him a basket.
Mark Jackson lost it. An exchange of turnovers, Laker ball. Indiana is the best shooting team in the NBA, and they've had a lot of good looks here. They've made some of them, but they've also missed the kind of shots they usually put down.
Well, as a coach, if you're getting the shots and you're a good shooting team, you have to think at some point you're going to start making them.
That's what you really don't expect from AC Green, a bonus for the Lakers.
Well, what we've seen here from the Lakers is they haven't gone strictly to Shaq. It looks like they're getting a lot of others involved there early in the game, maybe hoping Shaq will dominate later.
Dale Davis.
Back-to-back jumpers, Dale Davis and AC Green, as you talked about. That's not what we expect from those 2 players, but quietly, Dale Davis has had a tremendous playoff series. Their leading rebounder, and really their one physical presence inside.
Shaq screening for Harper. Here's AC Green again. And Smits takes the rebound. Jalen Rose. He led them in scoring this year. 18.2. Just a fraction ahead of Miller's 18.1. First time in more than a decade that Reggie was not the Pacers' leading scorer. They're in front 12-7, and the Lakers ask for time with 6:55 to play in the first.
When you play the Lakers, you like to get early offense, so Shaq cannot disrupt your whole game. The pass ahead to Jalen Rose, he squares it up. This is a big basket as they take a 12-7 lead here with 6:55 to go in the first period. Well, Larry Bird must be very happy. He felt that Reggie Miller could get out, get a layup, get a couple free throws. He would get off to a great start. He hits his first jumper to start the game, which is a great sign for all Indiana Pacer fans. Now, game one ritual, Reggie does this before every game. You see the shot clock in behind. He's going to wind it down to the last second, shoot as if it's a game winner. In game one, he misses. Tonight, that same routine once again. He eyes the clock. He turns, he fires, and knocks it in. Could this be an omen for the Indiana Pacers in tonight's game?
Laker ball after the timeout. Shaquille O'Neal finds A.C. Green with a nice pass.
Now, Bob, one thing, the Pacers are a team that doesn't double team a lot, so they're very slow with their rotations. That weak side has got to prevent that cutter from getting a layup.
Mark Jackson drives on Kobe Bryant. Green comes over and they block it away. Still 14 seconds to shoot. Jackson for three. O'Neal with board position on Smits. And a whistle at the other end. The officials are Joe Crawford, Bennett Salvatore, and Eddie F. Rush.
That's 2 fouls now on Reggie Miller. That's a way to take yourself out of the game. But Glenn Rice off the ball is going to flash to that low post. Reggie, little arm wrestling with him as he goes across the lane. And that's a very tough foul. That's number 2.
Here's Miller streaking to the hoop and switching to the left hand. A collision with a cameraman by the basket stanchion. Reggie's okay. And Dave, the cameraman, is shaken but apparently all right himself.
Boy, tough shot here, and you see Reggie go right into our camera guy. Dave, hopefully he's okay down there.
Here's Bryant, 6 on the shot clock. Reggie defending. Kobe finds Shaq, who powers off for the dunk. Plus the foul.
Now see, Rick Smits made a mistake there. Reggie flops back to take the foul, and he frees up Kobe Bryant. And you're going to see Rick Smits come out to contest the shot, and when he does, he leaves Shaquille O'Neal all alone underneath the basket for the power dunk and the foul. What you've got to do is you've got to make Kobe make that shot and stay at home on Shaquille O'Neal. Those are the kind of baskets that kill you.
With 2 fouls, Miller has to go out. He's already scored 8 points, exceeding his game 1 total. Just halfway through the first quarter, Austin Crozier comes in to replace him. 3-point play by Shaq brings the Lakers to within 2. And Rice fouls Crozier.
Remember now, Crozier had a tremendous game off the bench in game 1. Bobby came in, had 16 points, shot the ball well, 6 of 7, had 6 rebounds, and really gave them a lift. And they're going to need that tonight with Reggie already here in foul trouble in the first period.
Jalen Rose got it away over Kobe Bryant. Here's Glenn Rice drilling the 3.
He was 1 for 8 in game 1. You expect him as a better shooter to be able to make more shots. Already off to a much better start.
Crozier took it right in against Shaq, but couldn't finish it. Here comes Bryant out of the pack, shoveling it to Harper, and Harper lays it in.
The Lakers are really not a running team. They're a power team, but they will run on opportunity, and Indiana does not have great foot speed. They've got to protect the backcourt. Too many layups here.
The Lakers take the lead. Smith steps back, and his jumper over Shaq spins out, but you can see he can get his shots against O'Neal. On the other hand, he can't defend him. He fouls him there.
Again, the Lakers are not known as a fast break team, but when they can break out of the pack and have numbers, they will. And once again, Ron Harper off to a terrific start. And you know Showtime, that running game, who loves it? Nobody better than Magic Johnson. He loves what he sees here early as the Lakers are off and running.
O'Neal is has made 2 of his first 4 free throws. Smits has to sit down with the 2 fouls, and Sam Perkins replaces him.
That last foul that Rick Smits got was not a good foul. He just came over the back and pushed him. That's not the kind of fouls you want to commit. When you're caught in that position, Bob, just sort of hold yourself in there. If he catches the ball, you're going to expect to get some help. But now Rick Smits is down, Reggie Miller's down. They've got to have somebody now come in here and pick up this pace.
AC Green out now for the Lakers. Robert Horry in. That one was flat, a bad-looking shot, and Jackson has the rebound. Jalen Rose working on Kobe, who poked it away, but it comes to Perkins. Rose again, he feels confident against Bryant, and why not?
Well, Rose and Miller have both gotten the message from their coach, Larry Bird. We expect you to shoot, keep shooting, and knock the ball in the basket, and both of them have gotten off to very good starts here tonight.
Perkins trying to contend with O'Neal. Harper, all kinds of time, and hits the 3, essentially a set shot. No one came anywhere near it. Rose against Kobe again. Takes it into the lane, and a whistle. Jalen Rose did not shoot a free throw in game 1. Normally he's a slashing type player. He's got to get to the line, and he does now.
Now Ron Harper is right over here in the lower right-hand corner. He's going to fade back behind that three-point line. Again, Indiana does not like to double team, but you've got to give up that shot. We've talked about limiting Shaq's shot attempts, and they are. And if Ron Harper's going to knock the shots in, Bob, you've got a better chance beating the Lakers that way than being overpowered with 64 points in the paint like happened in game 1.
Harper's already scored 7. That equals his regular season average. He had 12 in game 1. He has chipped in points at crucial times throughout these playoffs. Rose hits both free throws and ties the game at 20. Kobe Bryant.
Looks like he sprained his ankle when Kobe came down. He's on the floor.
And he's writhing in pain, holding his left ankle. Meanwhile, Rose guns a 3 at the other end. Shaq takes the rebound. The Lakers have a break. Harper lays it in, but the greater concern is Kobe Bryant.
Now, Kobe came down as he shot that jumper. Now they're going to have to take the foul. But, Bob, tell me, how can this happen? You've got 5 on 4. You shoot a jumper, and they shoot a layup at the other end with one of their players laying on the floor. How can the Lakers do that? Where is Indiana's defense getting back? Now, here's Kobe. Let's take a look at what happens. Normally in this situation, you come down on the side of a player's foot, and that's exactly what happened. As a player and a guy who's done that many times, it sort of gives you a flashback of knowing how painful that is. But just watch here as his foot comes down right there on the side of Jalen Rose's foot. He rolls his ankle over. Hopefully that's just going to be a stinger and nothing that will affect him very long. But watch this left ankle right there as he rolls it over. That's bad news for the Los Angeles Lakers.
As they hold their collective breath at the Staples Center, we'll be back. Another look at the injury to Kobe Bryant. He'll take the jumper on Jalen Rose, and as you see, his left foot becomes entangled with Rose's left foot, and down he goes.
Bob, that's always how that happens. You know, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often, and you see Kobe just rolling in pain. But I've done that so many times. You come down on a guy's foot and it just rolls your ankle, and the heat flash that goes through your foot, and it's almost a nauseating kind of feeling. So we'll have to see what happens with Kobe. He's young. Hopefully he hasn't had a lot of ankle problems, and he'll be able to bounce back.
Ahmad Rashad is checking on Kobe's condition, and as soon as we have any information, Ahmad will pass it along. The Lakers had to foul Mark Jackson just to stop the clock and get Kobe off the floor. So Mark is at the line.
Wow.
And what a brick that was.
That wasn't even close. I thought Mark Jackson was one of 2 Pacers that had a good first game. He and Austin Crosher. I thought everybody else was very subpar in that first game, Bob.
The Pacers are the best free throw shooting team in the NBA. Only Seattle was worse than the Lakers in that department, although a lot of that, of course, is on Shaquille O'Neal. Horry dumps it into Shaq. Perkins on him. There's the return pass to Horry, but it spills off the lip of the rim and into the hands of Davis. But the Lakers have shown an ability to do that repeatedly in this first quarter.
Well, the weak side defense is not getting over, and that cut is wide open. That was Austin Kosher that time.
Jackson for three. And it bounces to Rice. Rick Fox had it knocked away by Crozier. He chases it down and lays it in.
Now, those are the kind of hustle plays that'll make Larry Bird smile. The ball was knocked loose. Austin Crozier picks it up, outruns Harper, and lays it in the basket. But one of the things that Bird was upset in game one was his team's lack of aggressiveness, getting loose balls, rebounding, all the little things that you have to do to win.
Rice to Harper on the drive, and Ron Harper has scored 11 first-quarter points.
That will destroy Larry Bird. I mean, here you got Shaq a little bit under control, and now Harper has 11.
Crozier showing no fear, and one of the Lakers fouled it. The foul was on Shaq, his first.
Well, Mark Jackson knows better than this. He's played against this offense numerous times when Chicago ran it, and you've got to get back and you've got to be able to play against that cutter on that weak side, and he does not do it. So Mark Jackson, after a terrific game one, has come out of here and struggled tonight, especially on the defensive end.
He's replaced by Travis Best as Crozier hits the free throw. Ron Harper is 5 for 5 from the floor. He was 4 of 6 in game one, so he's hit 9 of 11 in the series.
Well, Derek Fisher now has checked in for the Lakers, and this is the chess match that we talked about. Anytime Best comes in, Fisher's going to come in to play him. Did a nice job in the first game. Best was only 2 of 7, so Fisher did his job.
Lakers by 1. Glenn Rice. And Crozier snatches the rebound. Jalen Rose guarded by Rice this time. On the drive, contact but no whistle. Rice dives to the floor to save it as Fox brings it back the other way. Intended for O'Neal, poked away, and Best has the steal. Here's Crozier. Finds McKee. And as Shaq pulls it in, the Lakers slow it down. O'Neal in the paint. Perkins grabs him right away, sensing that he was at his mercy. As we check with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. I just spoke with the Lakers PR director, John Black, and the report is that Kobe has a sprained left ankle, but they are retaping it, and he will come out and try to continue to play. Bob?
Good news for the Lakers. At first, it looked as if it might be more serious than that.
Well, the sooner he can get back out here and test it, the better he will be. The longer you sit and you start putting ice on it and the thing starts to stiffen up, it's very difficult to get back. And Kobe's game is based on speed, quickness, and slashing. So remember now, he had the foot problem in the Portland series, but bounced back well from that injury.
With that miss, Shaq is now 3 for 12 in the series at the line. Rice goes out. Brian Shaw, a valuable contributor in the playoffs, especially the last round against Portland, comes in. And another miss.
You look at the free throw attempts tonight. Already 7 free throw attempts for Shaq tonight in the first quarter. Only all of 6 of the whole game. He only had 6 in game one. So you can see the strategy has changed already.
And when he only makes 2 of them, it's not such a bad strategy. Horry fouled McKee.
The thing you have to do, though, if you're going to foul Shaq, Bob, is you got to make sure that your big guys aren't taking all the fouls because they're thin on the front line. So the double team guys have to come down and give you some help and take some of those fouls.
And folks, you can log on to msnbcsports.com and click on Showtime Online for in-depth coverage of the NBA Finals. Visual interactives, including Bill Walton explaining the intricacies of the Lakers' triangle offense, plus analysis and commentary on NBA topics from Isaiah Thomas, Steve Jones, Matt Bukas, and Peter Bessie. msnbcsports.com, the official website of NBC Sports. The game's tied as McKee hits 1 of 2.
I said that the Pacers must win the first quarter. They're even. They get a stop here. They'll have a chance with a score to win the first period.
Here's Robert Horry. Now Rick Fox, blocked by Crozier. Still Laker ball, 10 on the shot clock.
Boy, Austin Crozier is playing terrific basketball. He had his ups and downs in the earlier rounds, but here he comes over this time with a big shot block against Rick Fox.
O'Neal, turnaround from near the foul line, and he hits it.
That's okay. That's not one of those shots where you're laying it up for Duncan. At least he forced him to make a jump shot.
Indiana can live with that. Game clock overlaps the shot clock by about 4 seconds. Perkins, this is his specialty. Shot it long. Rose knocked it away. And hits.
Great hustle play by Jalen Rose. Terrific.
Fox. Fisher. He can beat the buzzer with this. But he can't hit it. Boy, Indiana let the Lakers bring the ball back in a hurry there. It didn't cost them, but it should concern them. We're tied at 28 after 1. And those 18 points come in the first quarter for Indiana tonight, with Miller sitting out fully half of it. He started hot but picked up 2 quick fouls and sat the last 6 minutes of the first. You're watching the NBA Finals on NBC.
Ahmad Rashad back at the Staples Center. Just an update on Kobe Bryant. They just retaped the ankle. He's walking around in a lot of pain. He will not come back out and try to play. They're taking x-rays right now, and they will readjust that opinion at halftime. And as soon as we get an update, we'll be right back with you. Bob?
Ahmad, thanks. So the second report, less optimistic than the first.
You know, Bob, you don't like to be over dramatic or anything, but that's how series turn with an injury here or there, especially to one of your key players. And that's John Black talking to Phil Jackson, letting him know exactly what's going on with Kobe. And I'm sure Phil is shaking his head, but not happy with the news.
Travis Best to the front court as the second quarter begins. Derek McKee working on Robert Horry. Spins baseline, trying to follow his own shot, but Horry takes it away.
Everything but the finish.
O'Neal out of the double team to Shaw. And it rattles out for him. Perkins takes it. Crozier backs in on Fox. Gives it up to Rose for the jumper. It goes out of bounds. Laker ball.
But as we look out and see Brian Shaw, ironically, the only reason he is on this Laker team is that in preseason, Kobe broke his hand. Had he not, they would have probably waived him. Now he sprains his ankle, and he's in for him tonight. So he has been a major part of this team through injuries to Kobe Bryant.
O'Neal's pass intended for Horry, knocked away. Shaq recovers it, and they foul him. The foul is Derek McKee's first. McKee, like so many of these Pacers, finally getting a taste of the finals after more than a decade in the NBA. This is his 13th year out of Clemson.
You see the difference here already tonight in game 2 is in game 1 that would have been a dunk for Shaq and maybe a three-point play. They didn't even let him get his arms up to the basket, and that's what you have to do. You have to make him shoot free throws.
Shaq is now 2 for 8. The only Pacers with finals experience are Sam Perkins, who was with the Lakers in '91 and the Sonics in '96, losing causes both, and of course their coach Larry Bird. Jean Tabak was on the roster of the Rockets in the mid-90s, but he never played a minute in the finals. 2 of 9 for O'Neal.
Let's see if Travis Best can start attacking against Derek Fisher. He needs to score for this second unit.
Crozier drives on Fox and misses the little jumper in the lane, but McKee is there on the offensive glass. Here's Perkins camped out for 3. McKee again. Off Perkins' hands and grabbed by Shaw. It's a 3-on-1 break. Best is the only man back. Fisher pulls up and banks it in.
The transition defense for Indiana has been very poor here in this first quarter and a half. They've got to get back. Lakers getting too many easy shots against their defense in the open floor.
Jalen Rose driving on Shaw, and Shaq blocks it. Fox to Shaw. Cut off by Crozier and a foul.
Another fast break, and this is something we have not seen much from the Lakers this year. Shaquille O'Neal, you've got to keep him occupied and out of that lane. Jalen Rose drives, he gets inside, and who's standing there? MVP Shaquille O'Neal, the key block. The Lakers off and running once again.
The patterns of LA's cloverleaf more intricate than the triangle offense.
Well, Phil is talking to his team here about, now watch what happens here as the ball comes into the front court. They're doing a much better job right here of pressuring the basketball, not letting him get into their offense so easily. And this is what Phil had to say to his team during that timeout.
I'm glad that I know directly the baskets for whatever reason. They got their ball pressure up, guys. They're not being so passive in this game. You got to match that. Your alertness level.
See, one of the things that the ball pressure does is what we saw in game one was the Lakers really pushed the ball up the floor. Shaq got deep in the paint. They got it to him, and no double teams could happen. If you pressure the ball, slow him down, now you're in a position to go back and help on Shaq, and Indiana's done a much better job of that tonight. That's what Phil was talking to his team about.
Brian Shaw, a Celtic teammate of Larry Bird's in the early 90s, hits both free throws. The Lakers lead by 4. Indiana, a top-flight three-point shooting team, is 0 for 5 from beyond the arc in this game. Here's Jalen Rose in traffic, and somebody fouled him.
I really like the aggressiveness of Jalen Rose. Rather than settling for the outside jump shot on that possession, he was able to get in the lane, and when you get in there, you throw your body around and create contact. Don't go away from contact. Watch this. Go to the contact, throw your arms in there, throw your arm up in the air, and beg for a foul. That's what he did, and he got it.
It was Derek Fisher who picked up the personal, his first. Jalen Rose says of the Pacers, the sense of urgency is high. We have to play as if this is the last go-round for this team. They have 6 free agents on the roster and a number of players getting up there in years.
Well, he's one of those free agents, and Indiana desperately wants to keep him, so we'll have to see what happens. Reggie Miller sitting on the bench a long time after a great start. Will he cool off? When he comes back in, can he get right back into the game?
O'Neal out high, hands it to Shaw. Brian Shaw to the left hand. Crozier got a piece of it, and McKee takes it. Crozier inside.
He is so active tonight, running the floor on every possession. This is the best I've ever seen him play.
6 points for the third-year man from Providence. O'Neal over Perkins. Going to follow his own here and score, plus the foul.
That's just one of those baskets. You're not going to stop me. He got the ball so deep in the lane, missed the first shot, but did not quit on it. This is where Shaq is so good. He is so quick off his feet going back, and then it's just like, I'm going to power to the basket, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 guys, and you will not stop this.
A whistle on the rebound as Shaq now goes to a woeful 2 for 10 on his free throws, but Perkins is hit with a foul, and that's his second.
How often do we talk about when Shaquille O'Neal is shooting free throws, you must block off. He's going to miss a lot of free throws. That was just a situation where they lost concentration, and they get a foul on the play.
Fisher's all alone for 3. O'Neal just goes over Perkins, but can't hit the follow shot, and finally Perkins has the rebound for Indiana. Jalen Rose spinning through traffic to Crozier. Took it right at O'Neal, but couldn't finish it. Crozier has no fear, apparently.
Well, the pace of this game is very quick right now. I think that favors the Pacers if they can keep this tempo up.
Robert Horry runs into Crozier, and they're going to call it on Crozier of Indiana, his second.
Robert Horry is down. It looks like he might have got the wind knocked out of him a little bit as he took the shot of going to the basket from Crozier. Reggie Miller's coming back in, but watch Horry here as he goes to the basket. Austin Crozier needs him to take one more slide over, and if he did, he would have gotten the foul on Robert Horry. Now let's see if Reggie can get right back into the flow of the game. He's been sitting for a long time. You see, he actually missed about 8:20, but he got almost a 30-minute rest, so he should be fresh. The question is, has he cooled off?
Horry, who was on 2 title-winning teams with Houston in the mid-90s, misses the first. And Travis Knight comes in now. Shaquille O'Neal sits down. To this point, he's had only 5 field goal attempts. Well, that graphic differs with my totals, but either 5 or 6, take your pick. Here comes Jean Tabak for the first time, replacing Sam Perkins.
Now you're saying, what's going on here? Well, the pace of this game is so fast. Normally Shaquille will play 47, 48 minutes. I think Phil Jackson recognizes he's got to give the big man a little bit of a rest. And with Travis Knight in the game, Larry Bird says, I'll rest Perkins and Smits and let Jean Tabak get a few minutes. So this is just the things that happen as the series goes on.
Jalen Rose with Fox on him. And Eddie Rush says, hold on. There's a Laker foul. Just to finish up the thought on Shaq as he went out of the lineup here with a little more than 8 minutes to play in the second quarter. He has only 6 field goal attempts to this point. He got off 31 shots in game 1. He took only 6 free throws in game 1, and he has 10 already, hitting only 2 of them. And we're not halfway through the second quarter yet in this game, so that's a complete change.
Well, you know, again, we talked about in our open, Bob, you can't simulate playing against Shaquille O'Neal. Your plan might be really good and looks really good, and then all of a sudden you get there and you go, wait a second, he's faster than the guy we had in there in practice. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's more powerful, and your guys recognize that, and then they get into it as the series goes on, and that's what you're seeing here a little bit tonight. Now, I think this is a great move by Larry Bird. With Shaq out of the game, come back with Rick Smits. Get him going with Shaq sitting. It might force Phil's hand to bring Shaq back into the game and tire him out. So we'll have to see what happens here if Smits can get some offense.
Indiana cuts it to 2. Rick Fox. And Fox, who was a big contributor off the bench in the opener with 11 points and 4 rebounds, gets his first basket of this game.
Now go inside to Smits against Travis Knight. This is what he's on the floor, throwing the ball in the post.
Davis into the paint, turn around, good. Robert Horry's jumper. Reggie Miller with the rebound. Pacers can tie or take the lead with a 3. It's Jalen Rose, and he was fouled.
Nothing frustrates a coach more than when you foul a jump shooter. When you reach in, it's a lazy play, and you just reach your arm out and you tap him. And Phil Jackson can't be happy about that, as Jalen Rose now will shoot 2 free throws.
And the second foul on Rick Fox. Glenn Rice and Shaquille O'Neal are going to come back in. Sunday after game 3 of the NBA Finals, it's a special Sunday Daddy-O. It's the season's #1 new comedy, and it's moving to NBC on Mondays this fall. You'll see it this Sunday after game 3. And there's Daddy-O himself, Michael Chiklis, courtside. Amazing how these NBC types are able to score excellent seats for key games.
I saw you talking to Daddy-O before the game.
Laker lead is 1. O'Neal with Smits on him. Hands to Shaw. 5 seconds to shoot, and O'Neal will. Didn't draw iron. Miller's got it for Indiana. Jalen Rose spins and hits.
Rose having a terrific game. He's not living with that jump shot. He's getting that low post area. He's posting up, going outside, beating you on the drive, getting to the free throw line. This is a different Pacer team than we saw in game one. The pride has surfaced on this team.
Jalen Rose with 16 and Indiana with a 1-point lead.
Jalen Rose just takes his time. He backs himself down. Robert Horry goes to the shot block a little too late. But the smile on Jalen Rose's face, he's having fun. Indy's on a 10-5 run, and they lead by 1.
Ahmad Rashad outside the locker room at the Staples Center. Kobe Bryant, who sprained his ankle just a while ago, it has now been listed officially as a moderate sprain. He will not return to the game, and he's listed now as day-to-day. He's now getting ice treatments, and we'll let you know as soon as we find out more. Bob?
Thanks, Ahmad. Quick turnaround. Only 1 day between games 2 and 3. We'll play again Sunday in Indiana. Then game 4 is scheduled for Wednesday, 2 days in between games 3 and 4.
Now remember, when Indiana had a chance against New York with all the injuries to take advantage and get a win in game 3 in New York, they did not take advantage of it. Tonight, Kobe Bryant is out, and that is a major piece for the Los Angeles Lakers. Indiana's got to dig in and try to get this game. If they do, they get the home court back. That's how things swing.
Here's Rice. O'Neal chasing after the rebound. Jean Tabak was right with him. And there's a loose ball foul on Tabak, his first. But part of the Pacers' strategy here, with Shaq having a very bad night at the free throw line, is to let Tabak use some of those fouls on O'Neal.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Remember now, before this series started, Larry Bird said, you know, we're not going to do that. But then you play game 1 and you realize we might have to do whatever we have to do. You see Shaq go up there, and he's very flat tonight. Bob, you said it earlier. He's shooting line drives, and that's when he gets himself in trouble. Usually he doesn't bend his knees. His shot gets very flat. Let's see if he can lift this one a little bit better.
Not much knee bend at all, but he did get some arc on that shot.
That's, you know, if the shot is flat, you have less margin for error, and Shaq knows that. He's got to get his shot up.
Tied at 38. Miller. Harper up on it. Dale Davis lost it. 5 seconds as he gives it to Miller. Reggie with the running one-hander.
Now, the other night he couldn't make a shot. Now he's feeling it. That was a difficult shot. On the run, off the wrong foot to beat the clock.
And he's hit 4 of 5. O'Neal and Tabak fouls him.
Now that's by plan. That's why he's in there, Bob. You talked about that just a while ago. He's going to foul and make free throws. Shot clock winding down. And Reggie Miller steps in, gets away with a little walk off the wrong foot, the little runner. I don't know if anybody in the league shoots the runner better than he does.
In one stretch in the Portland series, O'Neal made 15 consecutive free throws. In this game, he's 3 for 13.
But you said it best in that series. Even when he made 15 in a row, he's a work in progress. He's always going to have his ups and his downs. Now, if you're going to do this, you got to make sure you're scoring, so you're trading 2 for 1. It doesn't do you any good to foul him, and he gets a point, and you come down and not score. That's where Portland got themselves in trouble in that Hack-a-Shack game.
Here's Tabak. Can he contribute? Not this time. And the rebound to Shaq. Shaw lobs it for Shaq, who finishes it, and they tack on the foul.
When Brian Shaw is in the corner, you cannot let Shaq roll off of you. This is their play. They did this in Orlando. They're doing it here. See, Tabak has got to lay in behind him. If he's in there to get fouls, let him catch the ball and then foul him. Not foul him after a spectacular play. But what about the grace of this big man? He goes up strong and finishes, and you see Larry Bird saying, that's not what I want.
3-point play. And Tabak has picked up 3 fouls in about a minute and a half. Best. The rebound to Horry. Lakers by 2 inside 5 minutes. Here's Harper to the hoop. Doesn't get the roll, and Rose Davis takes it.
Travis Best has got to give him some, Bob. He's been on the floor. We don't even know he's out there right now. He's a guy who's supposed to be a little motor to energize this team.
Dale Davis. Tabak has it. Rose will try a three. They still can't buy one from beyond the arc. Normally one of their strengths. They're 0 for 6 in this game. O'Neal. Well, if he's going to make those, you're in deep, deep trouble.
Yeah, you don't want to foul him when he's shooting that shot. That's a smart play by Tabak to not foul him there. That's just a great shot. And I think Larry Bird said we're going to take a timeout and talk it over. So he wants to get Mark Jackson in the game. Lakers on a little surge here to take a 4-point lead. This is as well as you can play him. You've got him out of the lane. You're squaring him up. You're keeping him out of the middle. He fades away. You get your hands up. He makes the shot. You say, that's why you're the MVP. I think you'd be worth about $1 million something. I've watched you shoot as we see Tabak on the bench who's come in the game, and we talked about him simulating Shaq in practice as they got ready for this series. Well, tonight he's got a chance to play against him.
Last year, Tabak played in Turkey. I don't know that there's anybody like Shaq in Istanbul. Dale Davis got the bounce.
See, Reggie Miller's talking to Mark Jackson. Get up, pressure the ball. Don't let them get into their offense so easily.
Horry looking for O'Neal. Smits draped all over him. Back to Horry for a three. And it bounces over the glass. Indiana ball. They trail by 2.
See, that's what you got to do, though. Dale Davis goes down to the double team man. They kick it out to Horry, and Horry in the playoffs shooting 14 for 44 from the three-point line coming in tonight, less than 32%.
Jalen Rose. Dale Davis against Horry. Backs into the paint for the jumper. Clock ticking down toward 3 minutes. Lakers with the ball and the 2-point lead. Shaw. He's got it back. Slides through, and Smits fouled him.
Well, you don't see Glenn Rice make those kind of moves, but that's a big play. I think that's going to be Rick Smits' 3rd foul. Little dribble here. Watch him split the defenders right there. Little crossover dribble. Has the ball nice and low, and here comes Smits. He picks up his 3rd foul, so he'll have to sit down as Glenn Rice with the aggressive moves going to go to the free throw line.
Reggie is out. Smits is out. They've got Perkins, Crozier, Jackson, Jalen Rose, and Dale Davis on the floor.
Well, Reggie Miller, I don't think is real happy about sitting on the bench right now. 2:37 to go. The only reason I can think he's over there is that he has 2 fouls, and that Larry Bird does not want him to pick up his 3rd going into halftime. But this 2:37, you know, Reggie never really got it going. He made that one little running shot against the clock. But they do not want to fall behind here going in at halftime.
The 3 players Larry Bird has thrown at Shaq, Smits, Perkins, and Tabak, have combined for 2 points and 8 fouls.
But they have taken away his shot attempts. They've taken away points in the paint, and they've done their jobs.
But Smits can score.
Yes, yes. And you don't want Smits picking up 3 fouls, no question.
Jalen Rose. The follow by Davis. Count it plus the foul.
Well, Dale Davis, that's what he does best right there. Big, strong, a terrific offensive rebounder. And again, he's the most physical player on this team. The little bump there, Jalen Rose, and Dale Davis with a powerful finish and the foul. That's why anytime that ball is loose up there and you can get 2 hands on it, you want to take it and power it in all in one motion.
Shaq commits his 2nd. Pacers are within 1. Crozier on him. Unleashes a three and hits it.
You got to make him put it on the floor, Bob.
He is the only Laker who hit better than 36% on threes for the season. Indiana has 8 players who can make that claim. But they really haven't gotten off from beyond the arc, speaking of the Pacers, in this game. Crozier overshot it into the arms of O'Neal.
I don't like that shot. Bring it up on Rice. He's hot.
Cools off with that one, and Davis grabs the rebound. Jackson flings it ahead for Crozier. Perkins.
They are so aware of Perkins. When he catches that ball, they spread at him so he can't shoot that three.
Jalen Rose penetrates, pulls up, and hits.
So they chased him off that three-point line. He's got the mid-range game going tonight. He's gotten to the basket, to the free throw line, and that little middle jumper going. He's been great.
18 points for Jalen Rose. O'Neal double teamed. Here's Harper driving. Back to Shaq. And a whistle.
Just because you can shoot the three well doesn't mean you have to fall in love with that shot. And Harper chases him off of it, and that little medium pull-up range jump shot, something we see as sort of a lost art in the NBA. But if you can get all the way to the basket, you can shoot the three, and you can make that shot, you're a complete offensive player. That's why he was the most improved player in the NBA this year with moves like that.
Shaq is now 5 of 16 at the line in this game. The foul was on Dale Davis, his second. Missed them both. And Jackson has it for Indiana. Again looking to tie. Jalen Rose with the hot hand. Brian Shaw trying to stop him. Davis screening for him. Davis has got it back. They got to shoot. He lets it go at the last instant. It's an air ball, and therefore a 24-second violation. They weren't aware of it until the last second.
Well, Dale Davis at least looked up at the shot clock. It was just a little bit too late. 20-second timeout here by the Lakers. They're probably going to set up a play here to maybe get a quick 2-for-1 possession.
If you're just joining us, most noteworthy development in this first half, Kobe Bryant sprains an ankle, will not return, listed as day-to-day. We don't know about his availability for Game 3 on Sunday night in Indiana. Shaquille O'Neal has attempted 17 free throws in the first half. That's a finals record for free throw attempts in a single half, and he's made only 5 of them. Here's Glenn Rice for 3.
Your 2-for-1 possession is what Phil drew up, and they ran it perfectly. You've got to stay with Glenn Rice. You come off of him, and Harper finds him. They ran that play perfectly. Now they're going to get the ball back with a chance to score once again.
Rice has tried 3 three-pointers. He's hit them all. Now it's Crozier.
Wow.
5 seconds. Harper guns a 3, misses it. Out of bounds, 0.8 of a second left, but it's still Laker ball, so they have time for a quick catch and shoot.
Be aware of Rice. They love to step him back, catch it real quick, and shoot it.
They lob it up towards Shaq, who tried to tap it to the hoop, and that's the way the first half ends. The Pacers trail it by 3. But the Lakers will be without Kobe Bryant for at least the remainder of this game. And Jim Gray is with Reggie Miller.
All right. right, thank you very much, Bob. Reggie, Kobe Bryant's out for the game. Is it now imperative that you guys take advantage of that and win this game without him?
Well, you know, they have a lot of backups on this team, and Glenn Rice is starting to catch fire and look like he's taking the place of Kobe, so we're going to have to shore up our defense a little bit, and we can't rest on the laurels just because Kobe's out. It's a sure thing.
You came out firing. Will you do the same thing in the second half, and did the foul trouble inhibit you a little bit toward the end of the first half here?
Oh, definitely. Anytime you're on the bench, you know, you can't really contribute for your team, but you know, now I only got 2 fouls. I look to remain aggressive in the third and fourth quarter. Barring I don't pick up no fouls.
All right, Reggie, good luck in the second half.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, Bob, back over to you.
That was Reggie's first shot of the night. That's the way the night began for him. When he was in there, he made 4 of 5, plus a couple of free throws for 10. But with the 2 fouls, Larry Bird kept him on the bench a good portion of the first half, which ends with the Lakers in front by 3. Coming up, Hannah Storm, Isaiah Thomas, Bill Walton, and Steve Snapper Jones with net 0 at the half. You're watching the NBA Finals on NBC.
Welcome to Net Zero. At the half, Net Zero, defenders of the free world. Free internet access and free email forever. www.netzero.net.
The Lakers lead it by 3 at the half. Hi, everybody. Hannah Storm back with Isaiah Thomas, Steve Snapper Jones, and Bill Walton. And, of course, Kobe Bryant has left the game with a sprained left ankle, rolling his foot after a collision with Jalen Rose. Left the game 1 for 3, 2 points, and will not return. And Isaiah wincing as he saw that injury. Isaiah, you had a similar experience back in 1988, Game 6 of the Finals against the Lakers.
Yeah, Hannah, definitely brought back memories. And this is how quickly a series can change. I played in that Game 6. However, in Game 7, I was unable to play. Now, what the Lakers have to be careful of right here is, do you rest Kobe? You play on Sunday, you fly on Saturday, that ankle can swell up. So we may be watching the makings of something very serious happening here with Kobe Bryant. I think the medical staff must do a very good job in evaluating whether Kobe plays in the next game or the game after that, because I know that it took me a long time to get over that ankle injury in the summer.
Right, Game 4 is until Wednesday, we should point out.
You don't play Kobe Bryant until he is totally healthy. This goes back to the very beginning of the season when Kobe Bryant broke his hand. And Phil Jackson said at the time that, hey, in a weird way, this could be a blessing in disguise, because it's going to force us to play through Shaq. It's going to force Shaq to take complete responsibility for everything here. But with Shaquille O'Neal shooting 5 for 17 free throws and Phil Jackson pleading for alertness, you're looking at a Laker team that has allowed Indiana to find their game, and that's very dangerous. Indiana does not have to win this game, but they get some momentum going in, and they get a lot of confidence going as the home court shifts back.
Have you lost your mind? They have to win this game.
They don't have to win this game.
And with Kobe Bryant out, it's a big, big problem. And one of the problems they'll have is who's going to defend Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose got a torch in his hand, people. Let me tell you, he's hurting some folks out there right now. And he came in with that attitude that we talked about at the start of the ball game, being aggressive. Kind of a player because he plays all over the floor. They got no description for him except he's a basketball player.
Yeah. But you know what? I don't think you let Kobe sit out. You got to play him. You got to play him. There's no such. This is the finals, Bill. No such thing as I'm sitting out.
There's a lot of basketball to be played. Shaq is the man. More of a team and more touches
gentlemen.
for Shaq.
All right, settle down. All right, we got a feature to go to. The Pacers' 5-time All-Star Reggie Miller is making the first finals appearance of his 13-year career. The younger brother of Cheryl Miller, a Hall of Fame player and current WNBA coach, Reggie grew up a Lakers fan in nearby Riverside, California. Yesterday, he spoke with Bob Costas.
When you were growing up in Riverside, you and your sister Cheryl used to get into 2-on-2 games in the playground. Now, if they didn't know who you were, here comes a girl and a skinny guy.
Very skinny.
They must have thought, this is easy pickings.
More so when they saw the girl. Because I would be out there, you know, layups and walk up on them, and they, you know, would ask if you have a game. I'm like, sure. Who's your second person? And whistle, and Cheryl would come running out. They would look at one another like, this is easy money. And we let them get up a little bit, and then Cheryl look at me, and we turn it on, and we end up winning, going to McDonald's, having a Happy Meal. And these guys are like, where'd you get it from? I'm like, well, that's my sister. And they're like, what? That's how it happens.
2.9 seconds.
Making up last-second shots. That's probably what I did more so than actual dreaming of being in the NBA.
Gets it in the middle for the win.
The old 10-9-8. And I always imagined making the last-second shot.
Usually, I would guess, you were imagining yourself wearing the uniform of the LA Lakers. That was your team as a kid, right?
Yes, it was. You know, I grew up a Laker fan. Everyone wanted to be Magic Johnson. It was Magic, Magic, Magic. You know, having a chance to go to UCLA and then, you know, work with Magic and Byron and Michael Cooper, you know, those guys were, you know, like gods to me.
If you were rooting for Magic, that means you were rooting against Larry Bird.
Right. No one liked Larry Bird here. Everyone hated the Celtics. But of course I respected Larry Bird because he was a great player.
Did you ever have anything going with him personally on the court?
There's only two things really Larry ever said to me. My rookie year, we were playing in the Garden. And I was, you know, playing hard, and of course we ended up losing, but it was like maybe 15 or 20 seconds left on the clock. And Dennis Johnson was shooting a free throw, and I was back with Larry. And he came up and patted me on the butt and said, and I really didn't know Larry, and he hit me and said, just keep working hard, you're gonna be a great player. And this, you know, I'm like, wow, you know, Larry said this. Well, hence me, a year later, we were playing in Market Square Arena, and we had a chance to beat the Celtics at home, which never really happened. And he was at the free throw line trying to ice the game, and I'm on the line, and I said, like, hey, you know, saying something, and he dribbles and stops and looks at me and says, don't you know who I am? And knocked it down, and after that, I really didn't say nothing else to him.
The Pacers have given up.
It's been a long time coming for a lot of the guys on this team.
Mm-hmm.
You and Mark Jackson are two of those guys. And I know you've had long conversations about this, late-night phone calls.
You know, being denied so many years, and me calling him after games during the summer, you know, especially last year, losing to New York in the conference finals, saying I shoulda, coulda, woulda, if I. And in Game 6 this year in New York, when New York had made their rally to get back in the game at the start of the fourth quarter, he walked up to me and said, look, don't call me. Don't talk to me after, you know, on the bus. Don't talk to none of my family. All this talking that you've done, called me and saying if I woulda, coulda, shoulda, do it now.
Miller against Sprewell. Steps back and delivers another three. Reggie Miller with another dagger. The Indiana Pacers on their way to the NBA Finals for the first time in their history.
We believe veteran leadership wins ball games. And at this point, so far we've been right.
Well, after missing all 7 of his shots in the first half of Game 1, Miller is 4 for 5 in the first half tonight, scoring 10 points in just 12 minutes of action.
Ahmad Rashad back at the Staples Center where the Lakers lead it by 3. A quick update on Kobe Bryant. As we mentioned earlier, moderate sprain, x-rays were negative. I talked to trainer Gary Vitti. He said that they have already started his therapy. They've used 2 or 3 different kinds of ice. They've got him on range of motion exercises, hopefully trying to get him ready for Sunday, but right now he is day-to-day. Bob?
Ahmad, thanks. This is not to minimize the importance and the greatness of a young star like Kobe Bryant. But they can win without him, at least in the short term, as Smits goes up with the hook and connects. In the playoffs, in games where Kobe Bryant scores 30 or more, the Lakers are 1-3. When Shaq scores 30 or more, they're 7-1. Here's Shaw, who's starting for Bryant. Glenn Rice, turnaround jumper. Misses off the glass, and Jackson takes the rebound. The Pacers can take the lead if they score here. Smits is open. He fakes his way past Shaq and then misses the shot. Davis swats it out of bounds. Indy touched it last. Here's Shaw.
It's amazing. seems like the Lakers always come up with a guy to make a shot at the right time for them. We saw it in the Portland series with Shaw. Tonight hits a big jumper as Rose misses.
Smits rebounds and gives it to Reggie. Now he screens for him, and Miller fires home the jumper.
See, I like that. The Lakers like to send to the sideline, to the baseline on that screen roll. They screened that way, and he was able to step up and get the shot before Shaq could get a handout on him.
And after a 1-for-16 opener, Miller is 5 for 6. He's got Rice, who fakes his way by him and connects again.
You made a great point. Glenn Rice is going to be the guy now. That's 15 points for him already in the game after 3 points in game 1. They've got to lock in him. With Kobe out, they have to put more on Shaq.
Here's Miller. He couldn't hit the reverse after a nice pass from Smits. Lakers by 3.
Remember now, Smits has 3 fouls. He's got to stay away from his 4th.
And O'Neal scores on him. Shaq with 17. Despite shooting 5 of 17 at the free throw line. Jackson backs up for 3. And that's the first three-pointer of the night for Indiana after 6 misses.
Well, Travis Best and Mark Jackson were 0 for 4 in that first half with 1 point. They split to 24 minutes, so they need some production from those 2 guys.
Rice over Miller. And the ball over the backboard. Possession to the Pacers.
See, they go back to that screen roll once again with Mark Jackson and Rick Smits. That's the play they want to run right now. They switched it the last time down the floor, and Jackson got a 3-point shot.
Smits driving on AC Green, dishing out to Miller for 3. Reggie overshot it. An air ball into Shaq's hands, and now Miller is hearing it from the Staples Center crowd.
And he loves it. That's things that gets him going. You know that.
Ron Harper continues to contribute.
Reggie's got to do a better job on defense now. You cannot let Harper step up and be the 3rd guy. He's got 13 points already in this game.
Miller into the paint, back out to Jackson. Harper knocked it away. Jackson recovers. 6 seconds to shoot. Jalen Rose around Rice for the pull-up.
Oh, it's a goaltend.
And the officials agree. Joe Crawford makes the call. Credit the basket to Rose. The goaltending call on Shaq.
You see here now the ball is going to be in the cylinders. It comes down right there, and Shaq wipes it away. That's a good call.
Harper from Green. He's off with that one. Again, the Pacers look to tie. Dale Davis. O'Neal had it poked away by Smits, and Smits commits foul number 4.
See, those are the fouls if you're Rick Smits that you just can't get. He had no chance to get that ball. You've just got to get back on defense. He goes in, now he's going to take himself out of the game. Now remember, Larry Bird left him in the other night with 4, and he picked up his 5th foul the next possession.
Shaw guns a 3. Way off. And Jalen Rose scoops it up. Reggie Miller leaning in, and his purpose was to draw a foul, and he succeeded.
He is so good at that. He just flails arms and legs. He kicks his legs out and leans right in. Watch the beautiful shot fake right there, just enough for Brian Shaw to bite on it. And Reggie says, you know what, I'm going to the free throw line for 2.
And this game is as good as tied since he's a better than 90% free throw shooter. Here's Jim Gray.
All right, thanks, Bob. Well, at halftime, Rick Carlisle, assistant coach, told me that Reggie Miller, in all likelihood, will play all 24 minutes since he only played 12 in the first half and did not pick up his 3rd foul. On the hack-a-shack, they are going to continue to foul Shaquille O'Neal. No easy baskets. He was 5 for 10 at halftime and 5 for 17 from the foul line, so they're just going to play the percentages. And they also talked at halftime, Larry Bird, about a door open here. They must take advantage. It's even more essential now to beat the Lakers on their home court with Kobe Bryant. They may not have another opportunity like this. Bob?
Thanks, Jim. Pretty clear, Doug, that this is their best shot to steal one in L.A. Here's Shaq in the lane, and as soon as he made the catch, there's a whistle.
It's going to be Rick Smith's 5th foul. He just reached out and bumped him. He was telling Dale Davis, you take him, I've got 4 fouls. There was miscommunication. Now Smith is going to have to sit down. He has got to be able to stay on the floor. These are touch fouls. He's telling Dale Davis, you take him, and he doesn't get there in time, and there's a little touch foul. Those are the ones you can't commit. He's got to go sit down now.
With 7:09 to play in the third, and the game tied at 60. Let's listen in on Larry Bird on the Indiana bench.
Jalen! Tell Ike to take Shaq, okay?
Now, he told him to switch. You see Rick Smith saying you're supposed to take him. Larry Bird wants you to switch. I have 4 fouls, no communication. And you see Smith pick up the 5th foul. That's exactly what happened in game 1. He got his 4th, and about a minute later, he got his 5th. And now he has to sit down the last 7 minutes of this quarter.
He's been on the floor for 15 minutes tonight with 5 fouls. He played 20 minutes before fouling out in game 1. Glenn Rice off the fake, stumbles, manages to find A.C. Green, but the 24-second clock expires.
We have talked so often about how this triangle offense revolves around Shaq. And when it's in rhythm, everybody plays well. We see Rick Smith with fouls, but tonight it's not as easy. They're out of rhythm. The Pacers are right there. Now they must score.
Shaw's on Miller. Out to Jackson. Looking for Reggie. Bounces it to him, and he lays it up over Shaq. No good. Davis's tip won't drop it. It's still a tie game. Here's Harper on the move. Ron Harper with 15 points. The Pacers try to come back quickly. They spot Reggie up for 3.
So you can't give him those kind of baskets. Phil Jackson knows that. He saw that in Chicago. Those are the kind of things that Reggie loves, to ignite his team with that kind of shooting.
The Pacers have the lead. Jackson now on Rice. Looking for O'Neal. And an illegal defense is called on the Pacers.
Reggie's going to make a nice backdoor play. Looks like he never has complete control of the ball. And there's Shaq once again. Dale Davis tries to dunk the ball. And again, Ron Harper, here's a guy, if you are Indiana, you cannot give him these kind of easy baskets.
Back live, Brian Shaw fires a 3 and misses it. A.C. Green wins the battle for the rebound.
Second shots now. You've got to do the job on the boards. Only 6 offensive rebounds in the first half for the Lakers.
Here's Brian Shaw into the lane, throws up that little teardrop shot that's no good. And O'Neal is hammered as he tries to go up with the follow.
Lakers are one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the NBA. They had 17 offensive rebounds in the earlier series, only 9 against Portland, 14 in game 1. And right now they're staying in the game with second shot opportunities. Shaq just goes up and overpowers Indiana's front line back to the free throw line. He's going to have to make some free throws tonight as we see 5 of 17. This is going to continue.
There you go. That was his first attempt of the second half. And he's 6 for 17 overall. Part of the problem, if they decide to go to Hack-a-Shaq, that means they have to put Tabak on the floor for a while because Davis now has 3 fouls. Smits is on the bench with 5. They don't have that many to use up anymore.
Well, and the one thing you're going to do, if you're going to foul Shaq, you have to do it as such where he doesn't get into a rhythm. See, Portland, when they did it, he started going up there and got into a rhythm.
Jalen Rose. 22 points for Jalen Rose now.
Well, and he started it out. It wasn't like he drifted away in that first quarter. He got involved even with Reggie, and both of those 2 guys are on tonight. That's a positive sign for Indiana.
Perkins, who has 2 fouls, guarding Shaq. Jackson over with the help. Shaq with the spin move. Ball knocked around. Green up with Davis, and Jackson finally takes it. Here comes Reggie.
Perkins will shoot a 3 here if Shaq helps.
Reggie up and under. A wild shot. And O'Neal has it for L.A. Here's Shaw in transition. He throws up a hook, and Davis blocks it back in his face. Miller sprints out. Easy two.
See, I think you got to be very careful with the Lakers right now because the Pacers have them scrambling. They've got them in a game right now that Phil Jackson does not want to play. They want to play rhythm basketball, get it into Shaq. This kind of game right now, Shaq can't get into it.
They get it to him deep in the paint. Jackson came over. There were 3 Pacers there. And let's see who the foul is against. It is Jackson, his second.
Open floor game here. Brian Shaw takes a tough shot, and here comes Dale Davis hustling back into the play. And then the Lakers don't cover the backcourt. Now here's a guy, Reggie Miller, who was 1 for 16 in game 1. You don't want to give him these kind of baskets.
O'Neal now 7 for 20 at the line. Meantime, back to Miller. He shot 7 for 12 tonight.
And Bird said, you know, the sign of a great shooter, Reggie's not a guy who's going to shoot 1 for 16 and then back away from it. He's a guy who'll look to take 30 shots. And Reggie got off good in that first quarter. He got to the free throw line. He got a layup. And once that, he got his nice rhythm.
Pacers by a basket.
Miller and Rose already tonight over 40. Now we talked about during the playoffs they averaged over 42. In game 1 only 19 points.
Reggie comes off the screen set by Perkins, now returns it to him. Perkins on the drive. Here's Jackson taking it and gunning up a shot, but Bennett Salvatore spotted a foul before the release, and it's on Ron Harper, his third. Robert Horry checks back in now for the Lakers.
And this is basically what we've seen throughout the playoffs. Usually AC Green plays the first 7 or 8 minutes of the first period and the third, and then Robert Horry gets the bulk of the minutes.
Miller against Shaw. Out to Jackson for 3. Shaw back the other way. Rose on Rice. 5 seconds to shoot. Robert Horry. Big move.
Again, timely shooting. Robert Horry, Brian Shaw, we saw it in that Portland series in game 4. They have not shot it well. They've shot it well at the right time.
That was Horry's first field goal, but it ties the game. Perkins. And hold on, says Eddie Rush.
I tell you, Sam Perkins, Indiana runs plays for him. They screen for him to come out and shoot 3-point shots. It's so hard when you're a big guy. That's what he gives them. The big thing is he's going to knock some of these in. He's been in a woeful shooting slump in the playoffs, and they need him to be able to do that to get Shaq out of the lane. Right now, Shaq's playing Dale Davis to take away his post game.
Mark Jackson with the floater. Shaw with the rebound. Horry dumps it into Shaq over Perkins, who fouled him.
I just can't even imagine what it must be like to try to play against this guy. This guy will punish you on every possession. Well, you can see after game 1 where there were 31 field goal attempts and only 6 free throws tonight, the hack-a-shack has been in effect, as Jim Gray told us Larry Bird said it would. Now, when he misses, see how flat his shot is. When he has success, he has the nice arch on his shot and the good rhythm. Well, tonight, we see that once again. Watch this first one. Really a flat shot, hits the front of the rim and bounces off to the left. The next time, the nice arch, the nice follow-through, bending knees, and he knocks it in. So 8 of 21 on the evening as he goes to the line to shoot 2, Bob.
But he started 2 for 11. He's hit 6 of his last 10. The NBA Finals record, as you see, most free throw attempts in a game, you would think it would be Wilt, but no. Bob Pettit of the then St. Louis Hawks in 1958 against Bill Russell, Bob Cousy, and the Celtics.
Well, let's take a look here to see whether he gets some arch on it. Gives it a chance to go in. Lifted that one pretty nicely. It's amazing, Bob. He starts out and he gets into a rut, like 2 for 11, and then he gets a rhythm and he starts making them. We've seen this happen throughout the playoffs.
One of two, and Davis rebounds.
Now, Larry Bird told his team in that timeout, 2:53 to go in this quarter. We've got to finish strong. No lapses at the end of this period.
Here's Jalen Rose. Shot clock at 6. Rose against Rice. Loses him and misses the jumper. The rebound was O'Neal's 16th. He had 19 in game 1. Rose over on the double. They swing it up top to Rice. And Rice is on fire from downtown tonight.
You don't want to leave Glenn Rice. You don't want to rotate and let him shoot the basketball. That's the last thing Larry Bird wants to see.
4 3-point attempts. He's hit them all. Jalen Rose into the lane with the floater that is no good, and Shaq wrests the rebound away from Davis.
Here's that little lapse that Larry Bird said he did not want to have. It's now a 4-point game. Lakers have a chance to push it to 6. 7 with the 3.
And the crowd alive at Staples Center. Jackson deflects it into the hands of Davis. So a Laker turnover. Jackson pulls up for 3. That could have quieted the crowd, but instead it comes up short.
My question is why? Why do you take that shot?
I think he was trying to change the momentum. Cross court to Rice. Can he make it 5? Not this time. Sam Perkins. Shaw got right up on him to deny him the 3. Now Perkins inside, but here's Shaq. You can see it coming from our vantage point, even if Perkins didn't. Shaq was closing ground on him. There was no way that shot was going to see the rim.
Well, see, the reason this happens is because Shaq is playing against Dale Davis, who is standing right underneath the basket. So Shaq is right there to block any shot. That's why your big men have to be able to make shots against Shaq to get him out of there.
Austin Crozier. Shot clock at 6. Reggie Miller on the move. The reverse won't go. Crozier is there. Up against Shaq and a foul. Horry was also on the scene. And they slap O'Neal with the personal, his 3rd.
I will tell you this, when Austin Crozier has come into the game, he's given him immediate lift. Reggie driving to the basket, and there is Crozier. As Horry went over to block the shot, no one blocked him off the boards. He goes right up strong. Now he's going to go to the line.
This Crozier is a tough customer. In his very first exhibition game as a rookie, he took a tumble and thought he had broken his left hand. His coach, Larry Bird, came out to check on him and said, "Welcome to the NBA. Now get up and make these free throws."
Well, nobody was tougher than Larry Bird. And you know, it's interesting. One of the reasons why they traded Antonio Davis was they said, we feel like that Sam Perkins has got to be able to play 20 minutes, and we've got to get Austin Crozier on the floor. I can see why now. He's playing great basketball.
O'Neal, turn around, got it!
But you know what? That's not a layup, and that's not a dunk.
And on a poor shooting night for him, he has 23. Reggie Miller, 4-3. Ball loose, it squirts out of bounds. And they award it to the Lakers with 22 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Now, Reggie's talking to Eddie Rush. He wanted the foul. If there would have been a foul on that, it would have been Reggie for kicking his leg out. So he was trying to get the foul when he shot the jump shot. Very upset with that.
Crowd comes to its feet. Last 10 seconds. Shaw ad-libs a shot. Shaq tries to follow it, and that's the way the 3rd quarter ends. Rose took a shot up around the mouth, and he's bent over as the 3rd quarter concludes. And Larry Bird comes all the way out, arguing with Eddie F. Rush. How can that not be a foul?
Reggie Miller is very upset, and Eddie Rush saying the reason he didn't call it is because he kicked his leg out.
It's the Lakers by 4 with 12 minutes remaining in regulation. Neither team has led by any more than 5 at any time in this game. Back after these words from your local station. This is the NBA Finals on NBC. This took place in the first half. Kobe Bryant with a shot. Gets tangled up with Jalen Rose. Sprains his left ankle. He will not return tonight, and he's iffy for Game 3. Let's go back to 1989. The Lakers trying for the championship three-peat, taking on Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons. And there's Magic Johnson grabbing at his left hamstring. He leaves the series early. The Lakers got swept, and instead of a three-peat for them, it was the first of 2 in a row for Isaiah and the Pistons. There's Magic, and he's with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. Urban, we just saw the tape of you, 89, Game 2, had the injury and didn't play anymore. Let's talk about Kobe in that sort of same situation. What's the thought process?
Well, the thought process is simple. Dr. Lombardo and Gary Vitti, our trainer, made the right call. Keep him out. Keep that swelling down, because everybody feared if he would have came back and played tonight, it would have swelled over tonight and probably wouldn't play Game 3 in Indiana or possibly Game 5. So now we get the ice on it, keep pressure on it, keep the swelling down. So hopefully, you know, it's a day-to-day process, but hopefully he can play on Sunday.
You know how tough it was when you had the injury and couldn't continue to play. How tough is it on Kobe wanting to come back and not being able to play?
Well, he wanted to come back, and he did everything in his power to try to get back, but when he started walking on it, he couldn't help us. That's just the bottom line. And then, you know, I had to tell him, this is a long series. See, this is not when Isaiah came back and it was Game 7 and he had them 25 points in 1 quarter. This is only the second game of the series. It's a long series, and that's what I was explaining to him. We got a chance to win a championship. We got a chance to get you back so we can still win the championship, hopefully.
All right, thanks, Urban.
You know,
all right. Back to you, Bob.
All right, Ahmad and Magic, thanks. An exchange of baskets at the start of the 4th quarter. Shaq for the Lakers, Crozier for the Pacers, and now Fisher is fouled and will come to the line for L.A. The Lakers lead by 4.
Bob, I think when you look at the statistics after 3 quarters, Indy and LA even on the boards after LA beats them by 12 in Game 1. Offensive rebounds evens at about 9, which is a great sign both for Indy. Turnovers, Indy only 3 in the whole game, which is a great sign. What's let them down is the three-point shooting. The Lakers are 5 of 12. The Pacers only 2 of 12, and they're the best in the league. You look up, they trail by 5, and they've shot it very poorly from the three-point line.
And Miller spent a long stretch of the first half on the bench, and Smits has given them next to nothing. He scored 4 points.
And Travis Best has got to give them something. This is a guy who's had big 4th quarters, both he and Crozier.
Here's Crozier against Horry. Back to Perkins. Open for 3. And banked it in accidentally.
Is that shades of Brian Shaw against Portland when he banked that shot in at the end of 3 to cut into the lead?
Here's Rick Fox. Harper looking for Shaq. They get it deep to him, and there's no way in the world that Perkins can contend with that.
He was trying to hold him out, and Shaq just walked him back into the lane. You see the smile on Shaq's face. You know what he's thinking? I'm just going to wear you down. I'm going to keep coming at you.
Best. Way off with a 3. Fox takes it. Harper to O'Neal. 3 Pacers around him. 2 of them on the floor like bowling pins knocked over.
Well, Sam Perkins needed this. He's got a hand in his face. Ron Harper running at him. It's not something he called, but he will sure take the 3-point shot. And then Shaquille O'Neal, watch him, just backs him down. Now, Sam Perkins, not a little guy, hit underneath the basket. He turns and powers it in. We got a foul, and we come back. Shaq's going to be shooting 2 free throws.
Just before the timeout, Austin Crozier committed his 4th foul. Shaquille O'Neal will shoot 2 free throws, and there was a double technical. Each coach got one. Listen to Joe Crawford as the situation unfolds.
Who'd you have it on? Oh, shit. He had it on Crozier.
No, I'm saying, Sam put the charge way out there.
No. Run.
No, you know there's no confrontation.
No. I got this. I got a tech on him and a tech on him. Tech. Right there.
Now, see what Phil did there? He said, you know what? Larry Bird can't have a conference with you out on the floor, so he walked down and he knows it's an automatic technical when he comes down there. Double technicals, which is what should have occurred. Phil was fine with it. He just didn't want to let Bird be able to talk to the official during that little conference right there, so he was protecting his team at that point.
Shaquille O'Neal to shoot 2. With the first one, he will tie, and with the second one, he will break the record for most free throw attempts in a single game in the NBA Finals.
It's amazing. This guy could be missing, and he steps up. Remember in Portland in the Game 7, he stepped up and made 2 critical free throws late in that ball game to help them win in Game 7. So his concentration gets better, his focus, and this is what he's going to have to do to finish this game.
And now he's 11 for 25. Bob Pettit had a lot of NBA records. I'm sure he doesn't mind relinquishing this one, a trivial one, after 42 years. Lakers by 6. Crozier lost it. Perkins picked it up. They still have 8 seconds to shoot. Travis Best. They go to the floor. Best and Harper, and a 24-second violation. Travis Best has been at his worst tonight.
Well, they need him right now. It's an interesting lineup that Bird has gone with. He's got Austin Crozier out as a power forward with Sam Perkins. What this does, this forces Shaq to play Sam Perkins, so Perkins can leak out around that three-point line and make some shots. How long will Smith be on the bench before he comes back?
Shaq in the paint. Tried to redirect it at the last minute to Horry. Fox dives to pick it up and asks for a timeout. With the ball loose, Rick Fox dives on top of it. Only 7 seconds on the shot clock. He asked for a timeout, giving the Lakers time to set up a play. If they score here, they'll have the game's biggest lead.
Yeah, that's a big possession. See, that's where you use those 20-second timeouts, not in the first quarter falling out of bounds.
O'Neal touch pass back to Harper, and Harper stepped out.
See, that's a play they like to run, but they like for either Horry or Harper to throw it in so they can tip it back out for a 3. Harper doesn't want to shoot that 3. Where's Reggie Miller? This is his time right now. He has got to get started. Both he and Rose got to get it going in the 4th.
Foul is on Shaq, and that's his 4th.
Again now, Bob, look at these matchups. Sam Perkins just banked in a 3, and Shaq is playing him. So if they get involved in screen and roll, and he rolls back out there, Perkins is a threat to shoot that 3. Horry's matched up against Crozier.
Here's Crozier. Puts it on the floor with a quick first step and tried to take it up with a slam. Fox cut him off and fouled him. Number 3 on Rick.
How quick was that first step? He turned and squared him up. Now he can make the shot, so Horry just sort of straightens up just enough to get beat. No flip shot at the basket. You go with power, and you get the foul.
Crozier, who's from L.A., went to high school in Santa Monica. Hits the first one. He scored 13. He had 16 points on 6 of 7 shooting with 6 rebounds in game 1.
And it's important for the Pacers to get into that foul situation early, get into the penalty, because they're the best free throw shooting team in the league. So they want to get there. The more they can attack and the sooner they can get there, the better it is for them.
O'Neal had it go off his hands. Rose comes back the other way.
What confidence in Crozier going to him once again.
This time he can't hit it, but O'Neal with an unforced error. No one but teammates around him. He juggles it out of bounds.
You know, Shaq expends so much energy, sort of mistimed his jump and then took his eye off of it. But this is a guy who's fighting 2 or 3 or 4 guys in the post, playing defense, working every possession.
Here's Crozier taking the inbound and immediately being fouled by Rick Fox again. That's 4 on Fox. Crozier has a chance to make it a 2-point game. He's been perfect at the stripe tonight, as you see. On Sunday, our WNBA coverage continues as All-Star Lisa Leslie and the Los Angeles Sparks take on League MVP Yolanda Griffith and intrastate rival Sacramento. Lisa Leslie at the game tonight. The Sparks versus the Monarchs, Sunday at 3 Eastern on NBC.
Is right now for both teams, either a 2-0 lead, a 1-1 split, and a change in the home court writing right now.
Harper. Big shot by Ron Harper.
How about his confidence level? Got the championship rings. Normally he's watched Michael Scotty do that. Now it's his turn to try to step up and make some big plays.
17 for Harp, who's guarding Miller. Crozier looking to work on Ori. And Ori rebounds the miss. Fisher, a 3. The game's biggest lead, Lakers by 7.
Miscommunication defensively. 2 guys went to the ball. One more pass, Fisher wide open.
Crozier, can he answer? No. O'Neal's 20th rebound.
Fisher's hit a big shot. Harper's hit a big shot. Ori's hit a big shot.
All in the absence of Kobe Bryant. The lob for Shaq. He couldn't control it. Now he does, and they foul him. The biggest man in the league and the smallest man on the floor go down together, and luckily Best wasn't directly beneath him. Otherwise, they'd be scraping him off the court with a spatula.
Watch him get this basketball. Look at this. He mistimes his jump, tries to go get it. It goes off the board before anybody can react. He goes and gets it back. This guy is playing so great right now. You know how good that play was, Bob, to be able to go up that ball, tips off your hand, goes to the board, and you go back and get it.
Just as some people did not appreciate what should have been the obvious fact about Wilt, which was that he was a big man who was also a great athlete.
Absolutely.
Excelled in a number of sports besides basketball in Wilt's case. You cannot question the all-round skill of Shaquille O'Neal.
He's made 10 of his last 15 free throws now, I think, too. So he stepped up there right at the right time, and now after going 2 of 11, is hit 10 of his last 15.
And he scored 30.
Does Larry Bird come back with Mark Jackson? Now, Mark Jackson did not play great. But right now, Travis Best is really struggling.
And has struggled in both games. Jackson was brilliant in game 1. Perkins fakes on O'Neal. Best into the lane, to the hoop, and shot catches up. Blocks the shot, got him with the body, but still it sends a message.
They're going to call flagrant on that. They're going to call 2 shots and the ball. Eddie Rush pointed to the sideline. This is going to be a a very penal situation. Not only is it his 5th foul, 2 shots in the ball, this could be a 4-point play. Watch as he drives in here hard. Here comes Shaq. Wow, I don't believe that. That was just a good, strong block. He's just so powerful, he knocked him over.
Agree with the foul, his 5th, but got to disagree with calling it a flagrant. This will give the Pacers a chance to cut their deficit in half.
Here's that last play. Now, Travis Best is going to go hard to the basket, and Shaq comes into play, and he blocks the shot, and his momentum carries him in to Travis Best. And that's just a case of a big man just overpowering a small player going to the basket. It's a hard foul, but it's not a flagrant foul.
Now, after this call, Shaq with 5 fouls goes out. John Salley comes in. The Lakers are already without Kobe Bryant, who left the game in the first half with a sprained ankle and will not return. There's 6:40 left. Best is at the line to shoot 2. He's scoreless on the night. There's his first point. He has 1 point. He doesn't have an assist in 16 minutes.
Now, one of the things also, too, the Lakers have 4 fouls, and they have no shot blocker in the game. Indiana, once again, the best free throw shooting team in the NBA. So, Bob, what do? You attack the basket. No shot blocking. Get the fouls. Stop the clock. Get to the line and get yourself back in this game.
Why not put Smits back in right now?
That's not a bad call. Now, he's got 5, but at least he can take advantage of him sitting down.
Travis Best trying to create something, bumps off Fisher, throws up a wild shot. Crozier rebounds, and then tips it in. Either he or Dale Davis tipped it in.
I tell you, tipped it in. John Salley tipped that ball in. Now, Crozier's probably going to get a credit, but Salley tipped that ball in the basket.
You are correct, sir, on both counts, and they give it to Crozier, who has 18. So it is a 4-point trip down the floor for the Pacers and a 4-point lead for the Lakers.
Who's going to score for the Lakers?
Is it Salley? Not with shots like that. They were looking for Crozier, who had his back turned. Salley swiped at him and poked it to Shaw.
Where is Glenn Rice? Glenn Rice is their main threat.
Horry misses a 3. Davis rebounds and gets it to Best. I have to wonder about Mark Jackson on the bench, and now he just stood up as I said that, and Rick Smith still sitting it out.
Now, Reggie, you know, is going to go seeking the foul when he drives to the basket.
Miller can't cut it to 2, but Crozier is there to pick it up. And there's a whistle on the rebound battle. And Fisher and Crozier in a stare down. And Miller cuts in front and says, "What's the matter with you? We can't risk anything here."
They're going to get a technical foul now. I don't know if it's going to be Crozier and Fisher or both. But this is what you want to stay away from.
A double technical foul. 44 blue, 2 gold. Double technical.
Just a great hustle play by Austin Crozier. He takes exception to Fisher reaching in. He looks down the taunt. That's the technical foul. It's like 2 heavyweight fighters looking at each other before they're going to go into the ring. And once again, clock is stopped. The Pacers are shooting free throws. This plays into their advantage as Shaq comes into the game now for John Salley. So if he makes this free throw, since Shaq's flagrant foul, that lead would go from 8 down to 2. And Mark Jackson back in also. That flagrant foul and 5th foul cost the Lakers 6 points.
Crozier has scored 20, and he's a perfect 10 for 10 at the line. They look for Shaq. Miller blocked the pass. Now O'Neal's got it. Glenn Rice for 3. 21 points for Glenn Rice.
But when you double team, you got to know who the shooters are.
Jalen Rose answers at the other end, but his basket was a 2. Rice's was a 3, and he's made 5 of 6. Speaking of Rice, from beyond the arc.
Now Jackson gives you better offense when you're in the game, but he's a bad defender. defensive player, and that's where he's going to really have to step it up.
O'Neal scores against 2 defenders. He has 32. Jalen Rose, hold on, whistle before the shot.
When you double team, you've got to get to the shooter. Mark Jackson is slow getting there, and Rice is their main three-point shooting threat. And then Jalen Rose comes right back. He's had a tremendous game. He pulls up, shoots the little jump shot to answer the three, and then next time down the floor attacks Glenn Rice, and now once again at the free throw line. And I can't tell you how important every one of these free throws are for the Pacers as they try to get themselves back in and win this game and try to even this series at 1-1 with Kobe Bryant being injured and his status for Sunday being very, very questionable.
A rare free throw miss for Indiana. Miller on Harper. 4-point game with 4 minutes left. Rice into the lane. Shaq to finish it up.
Pacers are going to take a timeout to talk it over, but that dribble penetration just breaks you completely down. You get a piece of the ball, but Shaquille O'Neal is everywhere. Look at him in the lane. He wants the basketball, the great position. He shoots it quickly over the top of the double team. And again, just the hustle plays. You can never give up. Glenn Rice gets a shot blocked right there by Dale Davis. And Shaquille O'Neal right there, maybe the easiest basket he's had in the last 10 minutes.
Shaquille O'Neal has 34 points with 3:48 left. His Lakers lead by 6. Each team has 3 full timeouts remaining. Indiana has a 20, which the Lakers do not. Here's Reggie Miller scoreless in this 4th quarter. Jalen Rose, Rice leaning on him. And there's a whistle before Rose can make his move.
Bob, just to follow up on Reggie Miller, his last field goal came at 4:42 of the 3rd quarter. He's not scored in over 12 minutes of playing time. This is his time right now. He has got to get the ball and make something happen. It just can't be Austin Crosher and Jalen Rose.
Miller made 5 of his first 6 field goal attempts, but since then, he's 2 for 9. Crosher. He has 11 points in this 4th quarter. He has 21 for the game, and he's made all 11 free throws he's attempted.
Well, we talked about Reggie. Remember when he got early foul trouble? He has never really gotten back into the rhythm of the game. But you know what? He has got to force himself to put his will on this game right now. It's a 4-point game. This is a chance for his team to get a road win in the finals.
Shaw for Shaq. Cross court to a wide open Harper. He fakes, moves inside the 3-point line, and his jumper rattles out. But Ori gives them a fresh 24.
When you double team, it's hard to block out on the boards.
Rice into traffic to the floor, and a Pacer foul.
That will not be a shooting foul. He was hopping in the air, not to shoot, but to get his legs back under him to go back up and shoot. So watch this dribble here now. He pounds it one more time, and gets a hop step there to shoot the ball. And he was going to come down and then go back up.
The Lakers are over the foul limit. The Pacers are not. But with Indiana's next foul, they will be.
Well, they foul Shaq if he touches it.
He's got it. He goes up with the shot. If they were going to foul him on purpose, they waited too long and ran the risk of a 3-point play.
And Larry Bird's got a lot of decisions to make now. Dale Davis takes this foul. You have got to make sure that you do not let him get his arms up. He almost was able to get it in the basket, but we have not seen Rick Smits since he picked up his 5th foul. We know he can make a shot. I think Bird is concerned about his defense. Wow.
That one was a line drive. Had no arch on it at all.
And Phil doesn't even blink.
You have to believe that Smits has fallen into disfavor with Larry Bird, because an obvious strategy here would be to put him in, get the ball to him in the paint. At 7-4, he can get his shot off against O'Neal and possibly force O'Neal into foul number 6. Then the Lakers would have to play the duration without O'Neal and Bryant.
Here's the guy right now that's got to go. He's got to make something happen. Reggie Miller, this is his time of the game.
He finds Crozier for 3. Dan Davis wins the battle for the rebound. Miller out of the corner. And O'Neal takes it.
What a big miss by Reggie. He makes that. It's a 2-point game.
And play is stopped at the other end. Jalen Rose on the foul, his second.
That hack-a-shack. Now remember, at the 2-minute mark, you cannot do this, so they take the foul there. At the 2-minute mark, the rule is if you do that, any player on the floor for the Lakers can shoot the free throw, one free throw, and they get the ball back.
So if this is their plan, it's for this possession and maybe one more. With that, he's 14 for 30.
Remember, it's under 2 minutes. That's when that rule goes in, the away from the ball foul. One shot for anybody on the floor and continued possession by that team.
The Pacers are still alive, but they're down by 6 with 2.5 minutes remaining.
Now, if they can score here when the Lakers throw it in, they can get one more foul in on Shaq before it's under 2 minutes, so it's important they score.
Crozier out to Rose. Fake on Rice. Up against the double team. Could have been a 3-point play.
See, at 2:15 right now, you can get one more foul on Shaq.
That foul was on Glenn Rice, his third. Big miss for Jalen Rose. Following the game on most of these NBC stations, your late local news, then The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. For those of you who want to stick with the finals, post-game report follows immediately on cable on CNBC.
Now, Mark Jackson alerted the official they were going to foul Shaq, so watch off the ball here. They're going to take the foul. Let's see if they call it. They're grabbing him.
Reggie Miller became a bit agitated, jumping up and down, holding Shaq, saying, look, here it is, call it.
There it is. Now you think about this. If you're Larry Bird, if you rebound the basketball and you take a timeout, maybe move the ball down the court to where you can get a quick shot, you maybe be able to get one more foul on Shaq. So this could be interesting here with this strategy, what they want to do here.
It's still 5.
Now you must block out. You know Robert Horry's going to be going to the boards here. Everybody must check out. No offensive rebounds on a miss.
He makes 1 of 2, and the Lakers would pretty much take that every time he goes to the line.
Yeah, because it puts the pressure on Pacers to score every time. You just get a 2 for 1. Oh, bad foul by Rice. Now you're going to be able to foul Shaq once again. That's what I was talking about right there.
Yeah, that is not what Phil Jackson had in mind.
But you got to make both of them. You can't trade free throws here. You got to make both of these, hope you foul Shaq, and then he misses both of them.
Rose has had a couple of big misses of late at the line, but he hits that one.
Question is, do you take Shaq out for a possession so that he can't do it, and then bring him in at the 2-minute mark? Looks like Phil's going to stay with him. I think Shaq is going to throw the ball in bounds. Let's see if he just tries to stand out of bounds.
28 for Rose. He is going to throw it in. He does, and he just stands there. You called it, and Jackson chases him out of bounds and shoves him for the foul. Well, he tried to hide, but it's pretty difficult for a man this size to hide.
See, I think the Lakers might have felt that if he stayed out of bounds, they wouldn't call the foul against him. But remember, earlier in the playoffs, we asked the referees, you can foul out of bounds. So that's a good call. I think Phil didn't understand the rule right there.
Indiana takes a timeout. 2:05 remaining, and they're right there, trailing by 4. O'Neal hasn't just broken the record for most free throws attempted in a finals game. He shattered it. This next one will be his 34th. The previous record was 24.
See Brian Shaw talking to Shaquille as he came out of that timeout, just trying to keep him calm, talking to him about what he needs to do, step up and make both of these free throws.
If he makes them both, the Hack-a-Shaq strategy has been a wash. The Pacers would have scored 4 points and Shaq would have made 4 free throws, while Indiana was playing out this strategy.
You always see a champion's heart come out in these kind of situations. Larry Bird's a champion. He knows Shaq's trying to be a champion here for the first time in the NBA.
1 of 2, but look at this. Almost Laker possession, but Fox couldn't quite hold on to it.
Well, the Lakers are stunning off that free throw to try to be able to get inside position. Fox almost got there. Now, the Pacers do not have to be in any hurry. There's still plenty of time. Where is Reggie Miller?
There he is coming off the screen, but Horry got up on him. Now Crozier bumps off Shaw. No call, and Crozier's jumper bounces in.
Brian Shaw tried to take the little flop there on Crozier. It didn't work. We now have a 1-possession game, and remember, the Pacers, the best three-point shooting team in the league.
O'Neal, and they grab him. Now, it will be O'Neal shooting because he had possession of the ball. What they can't do inside 2 minutes is foul him off the ball. Otherwise, the Lakers, as Doug said, can nominate anybody they want to shoot it, and they keep possession.
This is where they miss Kobe Bryant. How many times have we seen in situations like this when Shaq is struggling at the line that Kobe takes over at the end of the game and keeps the ball in his hands? This is where you miss him desperately. Keep your eye on Horry and Fox underneath the basket. They're running a little stunt here. Horry's going to go to the outside, and Fox is going to shoot straight across to try to get inside position on Dale Davis. He's as far away from him as he possibly can be. Keep your eye on Fox trying to shoot to the opposite side.
Again, 1 of 2. That's been his pattern, a 4-point game. The foul on Davis a moment ago was his 5th, so he's got to watch it. Jalen Rose on the run, tough shot. It's in Shaquille O'Neal's hands, and they foul him as soon as he grabs it. And if that's Davis, and it is, he's fouled out.
See, Jalen Rose, the lefty, when he goes to his right hand to shoot it, he comes back with that left hand, and Fox is able to get a piece of it. Loose ball goes to Shaq. Once again, he's going to be back on that foul line. Dale Davis did a nice, solid job tonight. 9 points, 10 rebounds. More importantly, he went in there and pushed and shoved against Shaq to get one more big body to play against him.
Another flat shot. With that free throw, Shaq has taken more foul shots than the entire Pacer team. He's tried 38 and made 17. Indiana as a team is 31 of 37. But another headline, Reggie Miller blanked in the 4th. Almost like clockwork, 1 of 2.
See, now Reggie keeps dropping the ball into Crozier. He's got to come off that screen and attack Brian Shaw and get to the foul line or get a basket. They're going to double team him and they're going to get the foul.
And that has to make Phil Jackson wince, because you foul Reggie in this situation, it's almost a guaranteed 2.
Well, you could see what Phil's philosophy was. He wasn't going to let Reggie isolate, so here comes Harper to double team. He just pushed him out of bounds. Reggie's got to make both of these free throws. Remember, he's the 2nd best free throw shooter in the NBA behind Jeff Hornacek.
Hornacek made 95% in this his final season in the league. Miller hit 91%. With his first 2 points of the fourth quarter, he has 21 for the game, and more importantly, it's a 3-point difference.
Will they throw it once again to Shaq? Shaq lay the ball in the basket. No layups, no dunks.
He looks for Horry. And the Crabs plus the foul. A spectacular shot by Robert Horry off the O'Neal assist.
Big men can't do that. You're not supposed to be able to make a play like that. Shaquille gets the ball in the lane, and watch this touch pass. He realizes 3 or 4 guys are coming at him. At the last minute, he drops it down to Robert Horry. And how often have we talked about either an Horry or a Fox or a Shaw, somebody making a big shot? This could be a dramatic 3-point play.
And it is. Here are the Pacers down 6. Jalen Rose to the basket.
See, they didn't need a 3. That's a good play by Rose. You shoot a 3 and you miss. Oh, they're going to foul. They're going to foul Perkins. Perkins didn't know the rule. He fouled Shaq off the ball. Larry Bird's telling him the rule. Now it's going to be probably Glenn Rice shooting a free throw. Who else? I guess maybe Horry's going to shoot the free throw, and then they get the ball back. That's not having the awareness of the rule.
When you're going to be 39 in a week, and you've been in the league for 16 years, how can you not know the rule?
That's something that you, as a coaching staff, also have to make sure that you let your players know exactly what that rule is. That can be tough. Now, you give them a point, that makes it 5. Now, the big deal is if they score, it's a 7-point game. That's 3 possessions instead of 2. That's how big that play is.
That's mind-boggling. In it goes to Fox.
It's sometimes the simple little breakdowns that cost you the most.
Fox on the run, banks it in. They'll count the basket, plus the foul, and it begins to look like even without Kobe Bryant, the Lakers will take a 2-0 lead to Indiana.
You know, so much has been said about this Laker bench. Now remember, 2 years ago, that guy, Rick Fox, was a starter. Robert Horry was a starter. That guy was a starter on a team that won 61 games. So these guys are playing off the bench, but they have been starters on very good teams throughout their careers.
That was a very close call, by the way, as to whether it should have been a charge or a block, but it didn't go Sam Perkins' way. Sam Perkins says he'll retire after this season. He may want to erase the tape of this game when he compiles his career highlights. Among the important factors in this game, the Indiana Pacers, a great 3-point shooting team. 3 of 17 from that distance. Reggie Miller, 1 of 5. The Lakers, among the lowest ranking teams in the league in 3-point percentage, have hit 7 of 15. Rice did most of the damage. 5 of 6 on those bombs.
Remember, the 3-point shot helped them beat Portland in Game 7.
Sam Perkins trying to redeem himself. And he hits the 3 to make it a 4-point game. And they immediately grab Harper and foul him.
See, now, if you're Robert Horry, the one thing, now, Ron Harper is not a great free throw shooter. You've got to look for the best free throw shooter you have out there. Maybe a Brian Shaw, Fox, or whatever. You just can't throw the ball into the first available guy. The last thing you do is take a timeout. And it's important to throw it into a guy who's a good free throw shooter.
Especially in the latter stages of the playoffs, is a clutch shooter.
Well, he's been great tonight. What does he have? 18 points. So Kobe Bryant goes down. He picks up the pace with 18. Glenn Rice picks up his pace. Timely baskets by the other players. So You know, Indiana has played a terrific game tonight. Much, much better than in game one, Bob, but it looks like they're going to go home down 2-0.
Trailing by 6. With precious little time remaining, it's Rose into a crowd, and Ori swats it out of bounds. Rose with the bandage on his neck. He was hit up under the chin at the end of the third quarter.
I'm really surprised that Reggie Miller has looked not to shoot the basketball or be so much involved here. It's been Crozier and Rose.
Jackson backs up for 3. And it's Laker ball. That's perhaps a foul over the back.
That's on Sam Perkins. That's going to do it right there. 17 seconds to go. If he makes one of these, it's a 3-possession game.
Perkins has fouled out. Produce fourth quarter heroics.
That's his time. Remember that was the game 6 in New York where he had 17 of his 34 points in that quarter. We saw it in the Milwaukee series. We had a huge fourth period. But here it's been Crozier and Jalen Rose that have tried to carry them. I still think that Reggie has got to be involved in this fourth quarter. Look at this. Only 2 field goal attempts, 1 from the 3-point line. They need him at this time. That's when he's at his best.
Are the Lakers doing something extraordinary to deny him defensively?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you know, he's worked, and I'm not saying he's run away from the ball, but Rose has had a good matchup, and Crozier, but I just don't think you can lose this guy on the floor. He's so vital, especially such a great free throw shooter, and he has the ability to get to the line.
With Bryant out, Harper has scored 21. Rice has scored 21. And Shaq has 40 with 24 rebounds. Can you imagine missing 21 free throws and still scoring 40 points? The 39 free throws are the most ever attempted in an NBA game. Regular season, playoffs, finals, you name it. And now, Shaquille O'Neal joins this list. Consecutive 40-point games in the NBA Finals. Michael Jordan did it 4 straight in '93 against the Suns. Jerry West did it twice in terms of 2 in a row, and Rick Barry once. Last gasp for the Pacers. Miller to Jackson, a long 3, which probably comes too late. It's a 5-point difference. Here's Rick Fox. They're just looking to dribble some time away. Rose comes over and fouls him.
Rick Smith should have taken the foul. You got to take the foul there and let him burn about 4 more seconds off the clock.
And Reggie Miller is letting Smits hear about it.
I mean, that's awareness. You know, Bob, it's a couple things that the Pacers have done here at the end of the game with, you know, committing a foul they shouldn't commit, you know, letting him run, you know, look at him. He's got to come out and foul him. You know, you can't be worried about right now that you got 5 fouls. You got to take that foul for your team. So you burn clock, gets down to 7 seconds, and then you take the foul. So the Pacers right now are usually a very, very smart team at the end of the games. Tonight they've made some mental lapses.
Down by 7 with 7 seconds to play, and they lose it. Fox could have taken it to the hole, but he's content to just let it tick away and to go with his team to Indiana, up 2-0 in the series. More bad news for the Pacers. Since the NBA went to the 2-3-2 format in the finals in 1985, no team has ever won those middle 3 games, all 3 of them, on its home floor.
You know, Bob, I think you said, did Indiana come tonight with a great effort? Yes, they did. They played some terrific basketball. When the end, it was just the power and dominance of Shaquille O'Neal. Just he willed his team tonight, and then some timely shooting. Ron Harper, Glenn Rice, they stepped up big in the absence of Kobe Bryant.
Ahmad Rashad is with Shaq.
All right, thanks, Bob. Shaq, it looked like when Kobe went down, you guys collectively as a team realized that somebody had to come up big.
Yeah, we felt we didn't play very well at the beginning. And, my teammates were looking for me. They tried to hack at Shaq. I missed a couple in the first half. I think I was, trying too hard. But once I settled down, just took my time, most of them fell for me. And, we just played hard, played good defense, and we just wanted to really get this game, and we did.
Well, the defensive strategy was to go to the Hack-a-Shack, but you are doing your part to put that thing to rest.
Yeah, first half, like I said, I missed like 10 or 12. I think that I was trying too hard. So I just, said to myself, calm down, shoot. I was looking over at my father, he just told me, take my time, follow through, and shoot. Everything will be all right.
So now, coming into game 2s have been a problem for you guys in these series, but coming in tonight, it looks like you guys matched the energy.
We knew that they were going to come in fired up, come and play hard. And, the reason why game 2, I think, has been a problem because we've been blowing teams out game 1. And, they just came back. They're the best in the East, so, we knew that they weren't going to give it to us. So, we just played hard, and we were able to get another home win.
All right, congratulations on a great game, Shaq. All right, let's go back to you, Bob.
Ahmad, thank you. On the CNBC postgame show, which comes on the air as soon as we sign off here on NBC, we'll hear from Kobe Bryant, who went out in the first half with a sprained ankle and didn't return. We will return to wrap things up after this. We've run down the Lakers' top scorers. In defeat for the Pacers, Jalen Rose had 30. Austin Crozier, who was terrific for a second consecutive game, had a career-high 24. Reggie Miller 21, but only 2 of them came in the fourth. So again, the final score, the Lakers now up 2-0, 111, and the Pacers 104. The NBA Finals continues Sunday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific with Showtime. Then Game 3 from Indiana as the Pacers host the Lakers. Tonight, after your late local news, The Tonight Show. Jay Leno welcomes Keenan Ivory Wayans, Heather Donahue, and musical guest 9 Days. And for those of you who'd like to continue with more coverage from the finals, we'll have a post-game special on CNBC coming up immediately. For Doug Collins, Ahmad Rashad, and Jim Gray, I'm Bob Costas. You've been watching the NBA Finals on NBC.
Post-game, here's your host, Hannah Storm.
Game 2 of the NBA Finals certainly had much more drama than Game 1, but the end result was the same. A Lakers victory, 111-104, as LA takes a 2-0 lead over the Indiana Pacers. Shaquille O'Neal, despite missing 21 free throws, still managed 40 points and 24 rebounds in another dominating performance. Hi, everybody. Hannah Storm in LA with the CNBC postgame report, along with Isaiah Thomas, Bill Walton, Steve Jones. I know you guys want to talk, all right? But hold off just a minute. Okay, in addition to the Lakers wins, the major story tonight, the ankle injury suffered by Kobe Bryant, the injury occurring in the first quarter. X-rays were negative. His status is day-to-day, and we are efforting an interview with Bryant right now. But in the meantime, Glenn Rice is with Jim Gray.
Hey, with Glenn Rice. Glenn, first of all, do you know the condition of Kobe Bryant? You saw him at halftime. What is his condition and prognosis?
Well, right now it's just day-to-day. He came down on someone's foot, and the ankle rolled over a little bit, so it's going to be day-to-day right now.
Did he want to come out and play in the second half?
He couldn't. I think he came down on it, and it was pretty bad. He tried to walk around on it. It was too tender. So hopefully with this next day, we'll get a little treatment on it, and we'll see how it goes for Sunday.
How concerned was the team? Obviously, you lose one of the great players in the game and a team leader here. Was there a great cause for concern in the locker room at halftime?
It was a little bit of a concern. We felt that when you lose someone like that, everyone has to pick up their game, and I think everyone did a tremendous job in covering Kobe's back.
And yourself, obviously, they say, Glenn, you're going to have to pick it up. You finished tonight with several big three-pointers.
One of the things I tried to do is knock down the big shots when it came out to me, and tonight was one of those good nights for me.
Indiana had a much more representative performance tonight than they did in Game 1. Obviously, you expected that, but Reggie Miller was contained the entire fourth quarter, just 2 free throws, and he didn't score a basket since 4:38 left in the third quarter. What have you guys done to be so successful in the first 2 games of shutting him down?
Well, I think one of the things we're doing is really paying close attention to Reggie. Everywhere he goes, we're trying to put a body on him, trying not to let him get to the spots where he's comfortable. And when he is free, we're running guys at him. The help defense has been great, and that's what we got to continue to keep doing.
All right, Glenn, congratulations on a good game.
Thank you very much.
All right. Back upstairs to you, Hannah.
Thanks, Jim. And talking about the Lakers defense, which Bill informed us earlier tonight was the best in the NBA.
Absolutely, and it proved that to be the case tonight, as Reggie Miller could not even get a shot. Weren't you the guy that said this was the most intelligent team in the NBA coming into this series?
Nothing about
No, that was Isaiah. I was looking at your buddy Isaiah over here. You said that.
What I said was they gave up 2 points.
Let me get the rule book down here and hand it over to the Indiana Pacers.
Now, in all fairness, Sam Perkins, that's a rule that he probably wouldn't have encountered earlier in his career because this kind of strategy wasn't employed.
Excuse me. All he has to do is watch television. They talk about it every game when they
about it
go to
Showtime.
the Hack-a-Shack.
They're playing.
You really had a problem with the Hack-a-Shack strategy down the stretch, didn't you?
Well, I didn't agree with it, and the reason why is because you're guaranteeing the Lakers a point every time down court, and it puts too much pressure on your offense to score down court. It was 5 minutes to go in the game. Shaq had 5 fouls. Kobe was out of the game, and you were down 4. If you're Indiana, you play your game, you play defense, you play solid, but you don't guarantee them a point every time down court.
And if you're going to hack Shaq, you have to know when to hack him.
Well, how about just trying to foul him out of the ball game? How about running some plays out of it? This is almost like Portland when he had 3 in the first half and you don't involve him in any plays, and suddenly he's able to come back in, get some rest, make some big plays, get a couple of field goals, and they're not scoring. The Hack-a-Shack makes the team defensive in their whole attitude. They forget to play basketball.
Even though Indiana lost this game, I still think they're in very good position to at least get a couple of them back in Indiana. They showed some sort of skill tonight in terms of competing. Shaq wasn't catching the ball every time with already established momentum to the hoop. The guards got out there and played some defense. Austin Crozier showed that he can play. Sam Perkins came and did a nice job. Derek McKee even did a very nice thing. And by the way, this is the rule book. If you could maybe pass this over to
Sam.
No. I'm not on Sam
Perkins'
Perkins' skates. This guy, Sam Perkins, is a terrific player and has been forever. One play does not define a player's career, just as Chris Webber's timeout in college does not define his career.
What, you brought it up. I guess it defines his career.
Heavens, no.
Okay, guys, we got a commercial to get in here somewhere between our conversation. When we return, we hope to hear from Kobe Bryant. We will also hear from both coaches when the finals postgame show continues on CNBC after these messages.
The CNBC NBA Finals postgame is brought to you by Lamisil AT, the official athlete's foot treatment of the NBA.
Tonight in Los Angeles, the Lakers take a 2-0 lead in the NBA Finals over the Indiana Pacers, and under the current Finals format, no team has been able to come back a trailing 2-0 to win a Finals. And we'll talk about 77 later in the show, okay, Bill? And your team.
Why not right now?
Well, let's talk about Reggie Miller now and what happened to Reggie Miller down the stretch. He seemed early to bounce back well from that Game 1 performance.
And I thought he came out early and really got himself involved without forcing the offense. He got a couple of open looks, the same shots that he had the other night, got his feet together, and he knocked those shots down. Later in the fourth quarter, I thought that they stopped going to Reggie Miller. Early in the game, they went to him. They made a conscious effort to isolate him, run him off screens. In the fourth quarter, I think the Pacers felt that they had a better matchup with Crozier going against a couple of other people. I think when you look at Rose and you look at Miller, I think those are the two guys that you want to go to in the fourth quarter.
How do you not run plays for Reggie Miller?
You know what he's going to say? You should have. We could have. That's going to be the conversation the whole time back on the plane, and they're not going to have to be able to have that kind of play in Game 3. Reggie Miller is a guy that has to be very aggressive when he's trying to score the ball. Whenever he takes himself out of it, you get that fourth quarter play. He's disappeared at other times, and these are the finals in his career.
You know, he's got to be vocal in these instances too. He's got to demand. I mean, when you find yourself drifting out of the game, you got to be vocal and say, "Hey, coach, don't forget about me." And if they forget about you, then you got to say, "Hey, just give it to me."
Well, he's a guard. He's a guard. He can take the ball. He can shoot it any time.
That's the difference between Reggie Miller and Isaiah Thomas.
All right, well, perhaps Larry Bird has been asked a few questions about their strategy down the stretch. Let's get a load of his comments to the media.
Well, you know, when the game's that tight and you get down 4 or 5, I think it's the best opportunity to get the ball back. He was struggling early, but the more you put him at the line, the better he gets. And, you know, the thing about the game is we played hard as we could, but tonight I just thought Shaq was better than he was the other night. I thought he was dominating. He causes a lot of problems for us. We're not getting any scoring out of our post players other than Jalen and Austin, but you know, they're beating us with strength on the inside, and we're living on the jump shot.
Yes, Larry, in a year when the TV ratings have dropped 20%, would you agree that now the NBA is going to have to address the Hack-a-Shack problem by maybe applying the 2-minute rule to the whole fourth quarter, for instance, to avoid sending the ratings plummeting even further, because that is a pretty unspectacular ending
Well,
to a game.
I don't worry about ratings. I'm trying to win a ball game right now, and whatever it takes to win a ball game, we're going to do. If it takes a 4-hour game, that's the way it is. You know, we're down 2-0. We lost both games on the road, and we got to find a way to win one.
Coach, how can you capitalize on Kobe maybe not being back next game?
Well, we won't know that until the next game, but obviously we're going to play better. We're going to try to get the ball inside more. You know, it's up to us to make the adjustments and get some scoring on the inside, so it'll open up some shots from the out.
Talk about Shaq's performance tonight. Even though you were trying some different maneuvers with him, he still ends up with 40.
Well, obviously he's a dominating force. Like I said, I thought he played better tonight than he did the other night. And I thought he was awesome the other night. You know, he's a handful. 2 or 3 guys sometimes can't stop him. It's just he works the paint so well. It seems like to us he's in there more than 3 seconds, but he works it well by moving inside out. You know, he's just a dominating player, and it's hard to match up against him.
Larry, Reggie started off shooting the ball well. In fourth quarter, he just didn't get, you know, he had a real good look in that 1 3-pointer in the corner. Generally speaking, he just didn't get any shots.
Right. We had an opportunity there when we were down by 2, had 2 good threes, missed them both. I thought Reggie got off to a great start. It's too bad he picked up a cheap foul there that sent him to the bench, because I really felt he was in the game. He was in the flow. And when we brought him back, I thought he did a good job picking up. Then halftime came. And after that, he really went into the fourth quarter. Jalen was doing most of the scoring. Austin, we had enough firepower out there. It's just that we missed a couple rebounds, and you know, things just didn't go our way.
Larry, with the Lakers being shorthanded tonight, is this a game you felt you really needed and you just blew a golden opportunity to maybe steal one?
Well, I thought the opportunity was there tonight. I knew he was going to come out. I knew he was going to play well. It's just if we made shots when we had to, and we didn't do that. You know, we feel like when we got home court advantage, we got to win the first 2 games at home. It's just unfortunate. I thought our guys played hard. We played well at times, but we just made mistakes down the stretch.
Last question here in front. With Kobe out, did it change your approach to defending the Lakers?
Not really. You know, obviously we were trying to double up as much as we possibly could and get back out to shooters. I thought their bench did a pretty good job late in the game by making some shots and taking the ball strong to the hole. But when you key in on Shaq, that's when you can get hurt from the other guys. I thought Glenn Rice did a good job the first half of stepping up and making shots for him. The one thing we didn't know is when Kobe was out that Glenn Rice was going to try to score more, and he got the job done.
So the Indiana Pacers unable to capitalize on the injury to Kobe Bryant in the first quarter. Kobe joins Ahmad Rashad.
All right, thanks, Hannah. Kobe, first of all, the condition of your ankle.
Well, it's pretty sore right now. It's kind of hard to put pressure on it. But, you know, just see how it feels more.
So at some point, did you feel like you could go back in and play?
I was taped up. I had my socks on, I had my sneakers on, I was ready to go. It just hurt so bad, so we just got an x-ray first, and luckily it was just a sprained ankle. I was ready to come back again, but Magic came in the locker room and gave me some advice to kind of cool me off a little bit.
Knowing how bad you wanted to play, it's better to wait and try to get the thing better than to go out and hurt it again and not be able to play the next couple of games.
Yeah, because you know, we have great doctors here at the Lakers organization, but I wasn't trying to listen to them. So they brought Magic, and Magic talked to me and settled me down a little bit.
Have you ever had this injury before?
Yeah, I sprained ankles like, you know, every other game in high school and in the pros as well. So I thought I was just going to get back up and kind of just run it off, but it didn't happen.
Do you expect to play on Sunday?
I want to play on Sunday. You know,
wanting to play and expecting to play, 2 separate things for you.
Well, the doctors, I think it was up to them to try to, you know, sit me out or whatever. But I think it's a good thing that we got this win, push it up to 2-0. We kind of have a little cushion.
So day to day, and we'll just check with you again on Sunday.
See how it feels.
All right. Good luck to you, man.
All right, thank you.
All right. Back to you, Hannah.
Thanks, Ahmad. He hit it on the head. They do have a 2-0 cushion here.
But the Lakers play a different game when Kobe doesn't play. There's a lot less dribbling. There's more passing. Everybody gets touches, and Shaq handles the ball a lot more. Not to say that they're a better team without Kobe. He needs to learn to play more in the system. Magic hit it right in the head. This is the beginning of a series, very long. The Lakers are in control, and they're cruising. They just got to let him get better. They're not desperate the way Isaiah's team was desperate when he came back and scored that 25 in the quarter.
Yeah, but let's remember this. This was a game that the Indiana Pacers should have had. And they should have had this game. Kobe Bryant goes down, and they are aggressive. They're playing. They're in the ball game, and suddenly they get into this defensive attitude, and they lose the ball game. You're not going to recover from a loss like this, and Kobe Bryant doesn't have to play because now everybody else has grown hair. They're monsters.
Here, Steve, look at the stats here.
You never can
take
see
this and look at the stats.
Look,
they got outshot. They shot 37%. They got out-rebounded. They got doubled up basically on assists, and you're saying they should have won? What game were you watching, please?
Bill is very dangerous with the stat sheet. Still ahead, the Pacers' Austin Crozier will hear his comments when we return on the CNBC postgame show after these messages. The Lakers win Game 2 of the NBA Finals, 111-104 over the Pacers, who got 24 points from Austin Crozier. He went 12 of 12 from the line, and he joins Jim Gray.
Austin, you guys decided to go with the hack-a-shack down the stretch. It didn't really turn out to be very effective because there was no net gain. Was that something that you guys had designed, or did it just evolve to that during the game?
It just evolved late. You know, we did get some plays where we were scoring 2 and they were only coming away with 1, and we figured we'd you know, just play the last 2 minutes straight up, and you know, they made some big plays in those last 2 minutes, and you know, we fell short.
Is this a strategy that you think can be effective? I mean, a man took 40 free throws, and you guys still didn't win the game. Is this something that we'll continue to see?
I mean, we're going to have to go back to the drawing board and come up with some answers to Shaquille. I mean, he was dominant. He looked like a man amongst boys out there. And, you know, whether it's the hack-a-shot or not, you know, something different is going to have to come about.
You were very effective this evening. However, Reggie Miller did not score a basket from 4:38 left in the third period, and no baskets in the fourth period other than 2 free throws. Why hasn't Reggie been able to get the ball and be effective?
You know, I mean, that's a question I can't answer. You know, he's our star. He's our go-to guy, and, you know, we're not going to win the series without him having some big games. There's no doubt that when we go back to Canseco, he's going to step up his game and have some big nights.
Are you guys looking to him, or is he being ignored?
I don't think he's being ignored. He's getting his shots, but, you know, there's other matchups out there that, you know, can be taken advantage of. But, you know, bottom line, we're not going to win without him. And, you know, maybe we do need to look to get him more shots down the stretch.
Larry Bird told you guys at halftime this is a tremendous opportunity, imperative that we win without Kobe Bryant playing. Did you guys miss a huge opportunity?
It was absolutely an opportunity missed. You know, to be in a game that close in the third and fourth quarter with one of their star players out of the game, you know, you had to be really optimistic about that. And, you know, we definitely missed an opportunity.
No team has ever won 3 straight games in this format. Can you guys break that trend?
I mean, you can't worry about statistics going into this. You know, we like our chances at home. We play much better, shoot the ball much better, and, you know, hopefully, you know, with our fans there, the Lakers will get a little tight and miss some shots.
Austin, thank you for your time. Good luck on Sunday.
Thanks a lot, Jim.
All right, Hannah, back upstairs to you.
Thanks, Jim. Lakers coach Phil Jackson just 2 wins away from his 7th NBA title in 10 seasons. Here are his thoughts after the game.
Challenge for us tonight. We knew it was going to be tough regardless. And Kobe going down the first quarter put a real crimp in our game plan, our attack. Harper had a great game, stepped it up, so did Glenn Rice, and we had contributions from other players off the bench as well. I thought Indiana played a much more determined game. They were determined to get to the line. They took the ball to us, and you know, I don't know. They seemed like they shot 20 free throws, as many as Shaq was shooting in that fourth quarter. It went on forever. What was the time of that fourth quarter? How many minutes? 48. 48-minute quarter. But that was the kind of refereeing it was going to be tonight, and we had to play according to that, and we managed to stay with it. I was upset with the flagrant foul on Shaq. I thought that was a poor call, and I think there was a flagrant foul against him at the other end of the court, and there was no call for his territory, and that bothered me in tonight's game.
Phil,
Yo.
Larry just said that he thought Shaq was even better in this game than he was in the last one. With the things that happened, Kobe being out, did you sense that Shaquille took it to another level in this one specifically because of that?
I thought he played very well tonight. You know, his free throw shooting the first half, I mildly chastised him for putting us in a situation where we should have been maybe 10 or 12 points up to only being ahead by 3 or 4, whatever it was at halftime. And, you know, he accepted that challenge and went out, I thought, the second half and shot his foul shots much better under critical situations. But that wasn't it. You know, I actually think that I actually think that his game passing hit Robert Horry on a reverse cut in the baseline, a very effective play. You know, some of the things he did on the offensive end were very good.
Phil, Larry said that he made no adjustments when Kobe went out. Did you make any adjustments offensively, defensively when Kobe went out?
Well, it's obvious that we have an offense that generates from whomever is playing what positions, but with Kobe out of the ball game, there's some special things that we do run occasionally that we were unable to run. And we missed that penetration. Ron picked that part up and did a good job providing us fast break opportunities, penetration, and I thought that, you know, we get hurt defensively with his quickness, his ability to play, you know, player and a half, helps us out defensively a lot. We missed that part.
When we return, we'll hear from the guys who called the game, Bob Costas and Doug Collins. We'll be back with more on the CNBC postgame show right after this. The city of Los Angeles, 2 wins away from its first NBA title since 1988. And now the final thoughts from the guys who called the game, Bob Costas and Doug Collins.
Hannah, thanks very much. Wish I could think up a new theme, but it's all about Shaquille O'Neal. How do you score 40 points when you miss 21 free throws? You got to be pretty dominant to do that. And of course, the 39 he attempted, the most ever in any NBA game, regular or postseason.
Bob, the thing that amazes me is this guy's energy, how hard he has to work on both ends of the floor. And we know when he gets the ball deep in the paint like that he's unstoppable. But here he follows up the offensive rebound. Shaq had 24 rebounds. That was half of his team's rebounds. They go to Hack-a-Shaq, and he didn't make a lot of them, but just enough so that strategy didn't work. But to me, this was the difference in the game here. In the absence of Kobe Bryant, Glenn Rice becomes more aggressive. He drives the ball to the basket. A big three late in the game as Indiana was making a charge. And then the old Wiley veteran, Ron Harper. I thought this guy was really a difference. The fast break layup, he spots up, and he shoots the three. He comes through with 21 points. Those two guys combined for 42. More importantly, look at, they shoot 15 of 27, 42 points. So in the absence of Kobe Bryant, they really pick up the slack.
The 7 for 15 under Rice there really doesn't reflect his contribution, because the big thing he did was make 5 of 6 on threes.
And critical, just at the right time. They were making that little run in the fourth period. He made that big three to push the lead back to 7.
Now on to Reggie Miller. It started well for him. On his first touch of the game, in the game's first minute, he hits a jumper. He made 5 of his first 6, but he picked up 2 quick fouls, and Larry Bird sat him for a good portion of the first half. And when he came back, he couldn't get it going again.
Well, that's what happens. You cool off, and that was my big concern when he did get in foul trouble. And you talked about Reggie squared up, and he hit his first shot, which was a great sign for the Indiana Pacers. He gets to the basket, he gets a layup, albeit a tough one over Shaq. He got a couple early free throws, but then he comes out in the second half and he can't find the basket. Wide open three that would have been a big shot, cut it to 2 that he misses. And when you look at the shot chart, Reggie Miller 4 of 5 in the first half, but only 3 of 11 in the second half. More importantly, accentuated is only 2 attempts in that fourth quarter. It was like Austin Crowsher and Jalen Rose that took over in the fourth, but I think you've got to have Reggie Miller. That has always been his time, Bob.
Jalen Rose had 30, and Austin Crowsher, who's been terrific in each of the 2 games of this series, a career-high 24. So the Lakers are able to win, and the Pacers are unable to capitalize on a golden opportunity with Kobe Bryant out. He played only 9 minutes. He scored 2 points. He left after this in the first half.
Well, it's what you see all the time. A guy goes up for a shot, and he comes down on a guy's ankle, and he rolls it over. And, Bob, the big thing to me about this game tonight as we see Kobe, what it enables the Lakers to do is be very conservative with Kobe. If he doesn't feel right for Game 3, you can hold him out. You've got a 2-0 lead. Game 4 is not till Wednesday. You can get a few more days rest. He could be healthier. So tonight was huge for the Lakers when it comes to Kobe's injury.
That's all we got. We have emptied the basket here. Nothing more to say. We turn it back to Hannah.
Thanks, Bob. Good job. All right, now to the post-game thoughts of Reggie Miller.
Well, I wanted to initially get into the game quickly. I felt I didn't get into the game very quickly in Game 1. I had some good looks early. You know, I would hope not to have gotten foul trouble. I think that really broke up my rhythm when I entered back in the game in the second, but I somewhat picked it up in the third. And, you know, we had our shots tonight. You know, with Shaq getting 40 and 24 and Kobe going down, you know, we had a golden opportunity tonight that slipped through our fingers. But you got to give them credit. Glenn Rice hit some big shots for him. You know, I thought Ron Harper got into the game quickly and helped them out at both ends. You know, what can you say? Guy goes back-to-back 40. Got to give him credit. Go ahead, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Reggie, could you talk a little about what happened in the fourth quarter? You just didn't seem to be getting any shots. Did you not get it?
Personally?
Yeah.
Well, I thought I had a couple good looks. I missed like 2 or 3 wide open layups, a wide open 3 that I thought was big that I had in the corner. We ran a play and I drove and I hit Austin for a wide open 3, which I thought was good. I think we were down 5 at the time. And Dale got the rebound and I had another we had another wide open 3 in front of their bench that I thought was, if we could have made that, it could have, you know, changed the momentum a little bit, but it didn't go. But we had some good looks. You know, it was tough, especially, like I said, that was a golden opportunity game right there with Kobe down. It's tough.
Reggie, over here.
Okay.
Austin had a big offensive game, but he also gave you guys some feistiness. How important is that?
Well, it's good to have some punch coming off the bench. You know, Austin's somewhat of a unique player because even though we play him predominantly at the 4 position, he really is a 3, and he can post as well as shoot the outside shot. So it gives you know, opposing teams some type of a problem because he can take them out on the floor. You know, somewhat like Robert Horry does, but I think he's a little bit better shooter than Robert Horry and a better post-up player. But he gave us some big minutes off the bench, and you know, when he gets it going like that, it's a big plus for us.
So Reggie Miller virtually invisible in the fourth quarters of these first 2 games. 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 4 last night. Snapper
He
in the
had
fourth.
a bad game, but you know, I got Bill's glasses and they are filthy, but what he needs on him is a hearing aid. Bird said it, Jackson said it, Miller said it was a golden opportunity with Kobe out of the game, and we blew it.
Ludicrous. Reggie Miller, more than any player in NBA history, needs his teammates to set him up. He is not like Isaiah Thomas. He is not like Magic Johnson, not like Michael Jordan. That's not his game. And with his point guard stinking it up out there, Mark Jackson and Travis Bass could not have played worse. Rick Smits goes 2 for 6. How is Reggie going to get any help? Who's going to get him going? And the big guys are not setting him screens. Let me see that championship ring. Why don't you go show this ring to Reggie Miller and show him what that takes?
You know how we got this ring?
How's
defense.
That's right.
You score 35 points in the fourth quarter, and you give up 38. That's the bottom line.
Really
you
tough.
got to stop people.
It's really tough to win a game if you don't win a single quarter.
You got to stop people. Defense. John Wooden, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Defense.
Bobby Knight.
The Lakers are the best in the league at it.
Okay, guys.
The Lakers are the best.
Hey, don't make
They
me
showed
call
it tonight.
security. All right, we're going to break.
They gave up 104 points.
We're going to wrap things
They
up from
scored
the Staples
111.
Center after this. A reminder that Game 3 of the NBA Finals is coming up Sunday night on NBC. Airtime is 7 o'clock Eastern for Showtime with the tip at 7:40. And on Sunday, we'll bring you Bill Walton's interview with his former coach, John Wooden. I know this is hard to believe because Bill is a man of such few words, but you guys actually talked for over 2 hours, didn't you?
It was a remarkable, memorable day because these features usually take 20 to 25 minutes to tape. We sat there for 2.5 hours. I was asking one-sentence questions. He never got up, never asked for a glass of water, never asked for a retake. He just kept going and going. 89 years old, sharper than ever. I've known him for 32 years. I heard and learned more stuff about him growing up on a farm in Indiana with no electricity, no running water, where his mom is making handmade basketballs for him to go out and play on the frozen tundra there. Talked about all the current players, Shaq, Kobe, Reggie, Glenn Rice, Michael Jordan, Kareem versus Shaq, Wilt versus Shaq, everything. It's an absolute perfect thing. And then Coach Wooden talked about his dad and his relationship with that. It's just a mind-boggling experience for me.
Wow, something that's going to be very difficult to cut down, it sounds like. But
fortunately, we have CNBC, MSNBC.
You know, Bill, by yourself, you could probably fill all 3 network shows. But let's go back into the history of Bill Walton a little bit. In 1977, when you were the Finals MVP and your Trailblazers fought back from an 0-2 deficit against the Sixers. That's what the Indiana Pacers face now.
They better get Maurice Lucas. That's what they better do.
There was 3 factors involved there. Put Maurice Lucas at the top. Well, more important, put the fans at the top. The way that fire alarm's going off here for the Pacers, look for that to happen back there as the Pacer fans have to come alive the way the Blazer Maniacs did. Jack Ramsey gave us such confidence. He said, look, we've been spanked in the first 2 games, but the problem is not we're getting outplayed. We're just not playing our game. The Pacers, they showed life tonight. They've got something going right now, and what they've got to do, though, is get that special player. We had Maurice Lucas.
Hey, the Pacers,
Isaiah Thomas was a special type of player. We're going to find out if the Indiana Pacers have that special type of player.
They need someone like you, because I remember in that series, I was a little kid.
You weren't even born.
No, I was
You weren't
watching
even born.
I was watching that series, and the thing that I remember the most is you running down court doing this, rolling arms.
No, he wasn't rolling his arms.
And you had 2 great guards. You had Hollins and Davis. You won with defense. You shut the 76ers down. You rebounded the ball. You got out in transition, and you
What
scored.
about
like
the
Ron Harper
Pacers?
and Kobe Bryant.
Call security. That's all you can do. At this point,
All right.
they're out of hand. It's 11, and I
Snapper.
don't know which one loves them the most.
You got to get a word in edgewise,
Let's
buddy.
call
Okay.
security.
What about the Pacers? Do they have a shot here?
Yeah, they have a shot. I mean, as Bill said, they did show some signs of life, but they've got to be more aggressive, and they've got to play all 4 quarters. They've got people that can score the ball. Their thing is scoring the basketball. When they shoot 37%, it gets him. Go.
The injury to Kobe Bryant makes the Lakers more serious, more focused. In Game 3, that helps them, the injury that Kobe won't play.
Is that your final thought?
We got plenty more. Where was Glenn Rice down there?
All right, guys.
They go
For
with
Isaiah
Ori
Thomas,
Fox.
Bill Walton, Steve Jones, our entire crew here in Los Angeles. I'm Hannah Storm. We'll see you Sunday. I don't know why my voice is running out. I didn't get a word in edgewise. We'll rejoin National Geographic Explorer right after this short commercial.